All right. Well, something is a little messed up with OBS here. That is really zoomed in for some strange reason. Why is it? There we go. That's better. Right click, transform. Neat. Excellent. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. All right. Well, that's a way to start a stream, but also now that the ads are over, ahoy, me hearties, and welcome aboard the Nightingale. My name is Alistair, and I will be your captain as we begin our journey through West of Loathing. How can I describe this game? Ridiculous. This is a stick figure comedy Western RPG. It is ridiculously hilarious and just one of the weirdest games that I've played. But I absolutely love this game. So, yeah. So, Lily, welcome in. Cannoli, welcome in. And chat, welcome in. So, we will be starting a brand new playthrough. And occasionally, I might be asking for some opinions on how our playthrough goes. So yeah, first order of business. Anybody got some suggestions for a name? None here, my good sir. My brain juice is still on low. Low brain juice. Oh. Alright, we'll do this. There we go. Luke low brain juice. So, yeah. So, we are officially wanted for protagonizing, and we have a bounty of 660 meat on our heads for it. And, it gets stranger from here. Play as Luke Low Brain Juice? Yes, absolutely. I had the strangest dream. I was choosing a character class. Now, I've already gotten my recommendation for what character class we're going to play, but I am going to read all the descriptions for them because they are hilarious. So, Cowpuncher. Cowpunchers solve their problems with their fists, whether it's shaking them at a disagreeable feller in a disreputable saloon, or using them to punch a slightly more disagreeable feller in a slightly less reputable saloon. You've heard that cowpunchers are in demand out west since the cows came home, which stands to reason. The cows aren't going to punch themselves after all. But we're not going to be a cowpuncher. Snake Oiler. Snake oilers rely on their moxie and chutzpah to tame snakes, their fearlessness to extract potent oils from those snakes, and their cleverness to manufacture and sell potions made from those oils. You've heard snake oilers are doing really well out west since the cows came home. Everybody needs potions and hope in these dark days, and also, out west is where all the best snakes live. but we're not going to be a snake oiler either. We are going to be a Beanslinger. Magic and cooking are inextricably intertwined in Loathing, and the Beanslinger is the mystical master of both. You've heard there's a shortage of cooks out west since the cows came home, due to most of the cooks having been brutally killed by the cows. I want to be a Beanslinger. You read the spine of one of your books. Joe Swift and the Incident at Vampire Graveyard. I read that one 10 times. Well, let's read another one. Pearl Drew and the Incident at Vampire Mine. Mom gave me this one a few years ago. The Treasure of the Black Mountain. Dad gave me this one when I was a kid. You're going to be listening to me talk a lot. There's no voice acting in this game, so I will be reading out everything. Rose Hardy and the Haunted Warehouse. I remember that one. The Secret of Eagle Canyon. I loved that one. Roy Danger and the Curse of Rattlesnake Hospital. I read that one 10 times. Oh, hey, this one might come in handy. You got an item. Walking Stupid. This book tells the tale of a renegade sheriff who was really, really bad at walking. Unlocked stupid walking as an option. You read the book from cover to cover and learn how to walk really stupid. Stupid walking. When you were a child, you wanted to walk so badly. You finally have. Nice. You accidentally drop the book and then ruin it by stepping on it 30 times while you're trying to pick it up. Oops. So now we have stupid walking. Goodbye, desk. Comb hair. You comb your hair one last time. You gain 1 XP. That is something I need to change immediately. Let's automatically spend XP off. No, thank you. They've got some good options here. Nostalgia mode. Remember how great things used to be? So we can put a very horrible sepia tone filter over the whole game, which, no. Colorblind mode. You never know. This game is completely in black and white. Best font mode. Changes the typeface of the game to Arial. Please don't do this. What do you think? Doesn't that look good? Nerd mode displays a log describing what happens in combat, provides a few other pieces of metagame information in various places. I don't need the combat grid on, so we shall, Oh, absolutely nothing. It does nothing. I mean, I'll turn it on. Maybe there is something that happens that I'm unaware of, but the whole game is black and white, so the fact that it has a colorblind mode, yeah. How's the game volume, by the way? Is it too high, too low, good spot? Sounds good to you? All right. We will leave it there then. Hey, Russell. How you doing? Aw. I'm gonna miss you, buddy. Caw, caw, caw. Let's feed Russell a cricket. You grab a cricket from your cricket bag and feed it to Russell. He coos appreciatively and nuzzles your hand. Maybe it's time for you to leave too. You open your bedroom window, not pictured, and unlatch the door to Russell's cage. He winks at you, paws one last time, then flies away to the west. So yeah, that's my pet crow, Russell. Russell the crow. It's time to hit the trail. You don't get it? Please explain. Well, you see, there's this thing called acting. And it's where people are hired to pretend that they are somebody they are not. Generally in these fancy things called movies, which are like pictures that move. And one of these famous actors is named Russell Crowe. So it's a very clever joke. Let's stack the firewood. Well, FedEx just showed up, so meet my dogs. I guess I'm gonna mute my mic for a minute. Explain it in Fortnite terms. Skibbity Riz pop culture reference quirky. I hope I did that correctly. I'm not quite fluent in Fortnite. Ah, there we go. This hearth really puts the hearth in hearth and home. You're gonna miss Mom's cooking. It's Mom's pie safe. It keeps all of her pies safe. Oh, loud dogs. It's our shelf full of souvenirs from old family vacation. Plunder these memories. I got a spider ring. A little finger-mounted spider effigy from Gun Manor. Rack spiders. Pick up one of your brother's weird books. Load. One moment, sorry. Alright, sorry about that. So, where were we? You pick up one of your brother's weird books and flip through it. On the application to dynamics of a general mathematical method previously applied to optics. How many different languages need to know to learn about numbers? Pick up one of your brother's weird books and flip through it. I don't speak German, so I'm not even going to attempt that. I don't speak Latin either. So let's go through the toy chest. He loves stuff like this. Got a puzzle cube. This is one of your kid brother's weird puzzles. Fiddle with it. Your brother already had it most of the way solved, but you figure out the last couple of moves. Gain an XP. Hooray! So tidy. It's covered with all of his weird diagrams and charts. Miss meals with the family. Nothing on the hat rack today. Your mom smiles warmly as you approach. I'm leaving now, Mom. We're gonna miss you, kiddo. Oh, and before you leave, I got you a present. A present? Yep, it's that book you wanted for Crimbo. I know it's early, but... So we can take bartering, desert survival, or the obviously correct choice of the one about picking locks. Oh boy! That's the one. Enjoy it. Got an item, locks, and how to pick them. Please be careful out there. Write us a letter when you can. I will, Mom. Bye. This book is a comprehensive guide to advanced lockpicking techniques. It's got a whole chapter on tumblers. Gives you the lockpicking expertise skill. You quickly memorize the entire book. After you're done reading it, you donate it to a local orphanage. Soon those orphans will be able to make their escape. Go, orphans, go! No time to screw around the woods. Time to head west. Your father morosely jabs at the haystack. That hat doesn't fit you, Dad. I'll grow into it. It's time for me to leave. His lip quivers a little. Listen, I want you to have this. It's your grandmother's favorite can of beans. You got a can of infinite beans. You'd think a can with an unlimited number of beans in it would be really exciting, but these beans are pretty terrible. It's a pretty cool thing to carry around, though. This item goes in your offhand. +1 spell damage, +1 muscle, +1 moxie. Thank him. Thanks, Dad. Good luck out there. Be sure to say goodbye to your mother. I did. Goodbye, Dad. Ooh, let's search this haystack. Hey, we found a needle. Your brother Rufus is standing here looking nervous. He's pretty good at looking nervous. Give him his puzzle back. You hand him the puzzle and he starts fidgeting with it. Say goodbye. Hey, Rufus. Time for me to head west. I still don't understand why you're leaving. Got a point, you know. Why are you going west anyway? So here's one of the points where I'm going to ask for chat's opinion. Why are we going west? This game pains me deeply. It's like watching chat come to life. So you're saying you're not going to jump at the chance to play this game, Cannoli? So, are we going west to help people, to seek our fortune, or to get off this stupid farm? What do y'all think? Why are we going west? Unfortunately, going west due to Herm is not one of our 3 options. 2, of course, to seek our fortune. Alrighty then. Let's seek our fortune. There's just no opportunity here, kid. If I'm gonna make something of myself, I gotta go where I can make some meat. But it's so dangerous. 60% of the people who go west get killed within a year, and that statistic is from before the cows came home. I'll be okay. You worry about taking care of Mom and Dad. I'll worry about me. Hey, if you say so. I still think you'll be dead by Crimbo. I'll miss you, Rufus. Okay. You give him a playful punch on the arm. Go west, young man? Yes. No, I want to play the prologue again. Why would we possibly skip the opening credits? This is the best part of the game. I mean, look at all these great people who worked on this masterpiece. They had a dialect coach. That's useful. You know, for all their voice actors. A stunt coordinator. Yeah, Cannoli, I get the feeling this game is going to drive you mad. That's part of the fun. 200 miles later. Oh no! Well, the bad news is that you fell off that cart and got knocked out for a couple hours, and now you've got no ride, no meat, no prospects. Good news is that you're in a town rather than in a gulch somewhere. Not much of a town, though. Get up and dust yourself off. The town of Boring Springs. We've got a turnip. Chunk of wood from the broken hitching post. Grab it. We got a broken board. So that is our melee weapon at the... I'm going to unequip the spider ring because I don't want to have... This game focuses a lot on random encounters. I don't need to basically only have spider random encounters. A sign on the door reads, "Gone drinking." Alright. Dang it! Eek! Ow! Ah, pointy! Ow! Dang it! Yipes. Yipes. Dang it. Yow. Ah, pointy. Ah, dang it. Dang it. Yuck. Yow. Ah, pointy. Yipes. Oh, right. You approach the weird Cactus Man hybrid. He smiles at you. Howdy, Cactus Man. Howdy yourself. And the name's Bill. Cactus Bill. What happened to you, Bill? Well, to be honest, partner, I drank too much cactus beer and it turned me into a cactus. Doc Alice warned me this would happen, but I didn't listen. That's why they call you Cactus Bill? No, that's just a coincidence. Oh, does it hurt? Does what hurt? You know, being a cactus. Oh, haha. No, it's actually kind of nice. The natural fermentation process inside the cactus part of me keeps me pretty drunk most of the time. I guess it's a mite boring. Yeah, I bet. Wouldn't be so bad if I had something to read. You don't happen to have a newspaper or anything, do you? No, sorry. Well, if you happen to find one, keep me in mind. Will do, Bill. Nope, you're not allowed in Topeka anymore. Remember? Some loose dirt. Alright. Alice does not wish to talk. There's a reason I'm running into all these cacti. There we go. You got a perk. Mostly scabs. You've been poked by so many cactuses that your entire body has built up an entire extra set of skin capillaries just to deal with the constant tiny puncture wounds. Plus 5 to maximum HP. Step right up. Braid's the name and trade's the game. You seriously doubt that his name is Braid. Howdy, Braid. What are you trading? Well, sir, today I am trading locks for soap and a stick of dynamite for a needle. And to the cunning skinner who brings me 3 rattlesnake hides, well, to that adventurous soul I will trade a fine silver pocket watch. I would like to hold on to my, needle, and I don't have the dickerin skill to ask for some free dynamite. So no trades right now. Oh, let's go in the bar. As you walk into the saloon, the crazy-eyed guy sitting to the left of the door shrieks and waves at you to get your attention. Hey! Where's your hat, dagnabbit? Well, you can't drink in here without a hat. Tain't proper. He points to the take a hat, leave a hat box next to the door. Check out the box. You look through the hat box and find a magical black Stetson. That looks like something you'd wear. Wrapped. Fairly enchanted hat. Don't be foolish by all the stars. This ain't got much magic in it. You grab the hat and put it on. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Pete. Gives you a friendly, if somewhat twitchy nod. Say, feller. Yeah? You heading west? If you want some company, I'd be more than happy to come along. Just let me know. Well, no pressure. All right, I'll keep it in mind. You already have a hat. What would you do with 2? I should probably leave him alone. All right. Howdy, I'm Luke. Howdy, Luke. I'm Horace. Nice to meet you. What do you do? I'm the town hostler. I don't know what that is. I'm the town horse-selling guy. Gotcha. How's that working out for you? Oh, these horses are just flying out the door. The business is booming? Nice. No, I mean the horses keep running away. I haven't sold one in ages. Oh. Is that why you're here drinking instead? Yep. And me being in here drinking instead of watching the horses is probably how they keep escaping. It's one of those vicious circle things. Well, I'm in need of a horse. Do you have any left? One. Kind of a boring one, but it's got 4 legs and a back to sit on. Come see me at the stable. I'll be happy to show it to you. All right. Woman glares at you. You should probably just let her drink. You walk up to the bar and wait patiently for the bartender to notice you. While you're waiting, you see a sign taped to the back wall reading, Reward for lost mugs, 25 meat each. Keep waiting. Bartender finally notices you. Howdy, cowboy. Howdy, barkeep. Name's Luke. What brings you to our little backwater? Oh, the usual. I came out west to make my fortune. Not having much luck so far, though. Any work around these parts? Unfortunately, Bourne Springs already has more people on it than jobs. It's more of an errand town, if you catch my meaning. If you're looking for a real job, I'd recommend talking to the railroad people up by Dirtwater. It's not the railroad. Railroad? Manifest Destiny Railroad Company from back east. They're trying to run a line to Frisco and having a heck of a time doing so. They're hiring? Oh, I reckon they're always hiring for one thing or another. Big company, that. Dirtwater? Dirtwater is interesting. It's far enough west that it's still more or less exempt from the rule of law, but not so far west that it's been burned to the ground by the damned cows. Lots of opportunity there. She pauses for a few seconds, lost in thought. Yep, if I were a younger woman, I'd probably head that way myself. Mentioned errands. Yeah, this forsaken burg is always falling apart in one way or another. The hostler's always needing help since he hurt his leg, and that no-account sheriff could certainly stand to have somebody doing his job for him. Anything else? Well, I've got a goblin loose in the basement. Some cowpoke in from the gulch didn't wipe his boots off and got spores everywhere. I could probably handle a goblin. Much obliged. I'll unlock the basement door for you. Oh, and you'll need this. Weak fungicide. The liquid in this can is actually very powerful. It's just that it's tailored to kill weak fungi. This item is used in combat, effective against goblins. I'll take care of it. Hey look, a spittoon. It's a spittoon. People spit into it. You know without even looking in it that it's absolutely disgusting. Let's look in it. Yep, it's full of spit. Regular spit, gross tobacco spit, chewing gum, and it looks like a few teeth as well. It's disgusting. And the smell, even from a distance, it smells horrible. Look closer. You are now on your hands and knees peering into a filth-encrusted spittoon. I don't understand what's wrong with you. Wait, there's something shining at the bottom? Get it! You reach your hand towards the spittoon. Even before you touch it, you can feel the grossness in the air, like a greasy fog enveloping the stinking brass horror. It smells like the vomit trough at a mesquite barbecue eating contest. Hesitate. Never surrender! You plunge your hand into the awful soup. It makes a sound like glop. Your skin is burning. Your eyes start to water. Search. Your fingers make contact with something. Pull your hand out of the devil's tureen slowly, not daring to risk splashing the contents all over yourself. You appear to have gotten some kind of ring. Probably some kind of disease as well. Congratulations. You got an item. Nasty ring. Though getting this ring was traumatic, you have to admit that it was worth it. +1 to muscle, mysticality, and moxie. Hooray! So, throughout the prologue here, it may seem like there are some things that I'm just kind of ignoring or doing in strange orders. There's a specific way to kind of go through the prologue to be able to have access to all the options before you leave, so that will be one. Such as going down here into the basement, pile of old newspapers. You got an item, Boring Springs Gazette, April 20th, 1895. This is a copy of the Boring Springs newspaper from about 6 weeks ago. A crate of Nurse brand whiskey. Good for what ails you. I guess we never established your age. Good thing the legal drinking age here can reach the top of the bar. This whiskey is too cheap for you to even consider drinking it, and given your legendarily low standards, that's really saying something. So, the bartender wants me to kill this goblin. I'm not going to do that yet. We will come back. And... oh wait, I think we can talk to the bartender again. Yeah, here we go. Who's the lady drinking whiskey out of a beer mug? That's Susie. She's a rancher from nearby. Real tough broad. I ain't recommend you pester her. Why's that? Lost her whole family to a cow attack recently. Got some pent-up frustrations about it. Shh. Woman glares at you. Howdy, Susie. Howdy, cowboy who's gonna be searching the spittoon for his teeth if he don't leave me in peace. Okay, bye-bye then. Ooh. Needle! Needle. Afternoon, sir. What can I do for you? How's business? Oh, every day I'm hustling. To tell you the truth, though, it's pretty terrible. All my horses keep running away. Well, except for this completely ordinary one. That's rough. Maybe I can help? Oh, God, yes, thank you. Please. I'd go fetch them myself, except for this injury. I'll give you 300 meat each for finding them. How many are there? 3. Here, let me see your map. They pretty much always run to these same places. Covered Orehole Mine, Boring Springs Boneyard, and Thousand Snakes Gulch. Why these places? I think they like environments that are thematically appropriate. Here, when you find one, feed it some of these oats. That should send it back. Bag of homing oats. Brimley's location-aware oats. They're healthy and expeditious. How does that work? They're special pigeon-infused oats. Oh, okay, will do. See you later. And by later, I mean right exactly now. Because you said something earlier about an injury. Yeah, I busted my knee while mucking out the showroom. Don't ask how. It's embarrassing. I was gonna get Doc Alice to have a look at it, but she gave up doctoring. Why'd she do that? Nobody knows. She just shut herself up in her office. Said she won't talk to anyone except Nurse Whiskey. An actual nurse, or I'm pretty sure she was just being sarcastic. I see. Offer whiskey. Whiskey delivery for you, Doc. What brand? Nurse Whiskey. Your favorite, I'm led to believe. Didn't know she makes house calls. All right, hold on. You hear her rustle as she unlocks the door. Enter the house. So, yeah, he seems to be in a good place. Oh, welcome back. I am sorry, I did not know that you had, disappeared. But either way, welcome back. We have, just made our way into, Doc Alice's house. Doc Alice looks to be about in her 50s. Her hair is graying and her face is lined, but her eyes are still clear and sharp, if bloodshot. She holds out her hand. Whiskey. Stat. Give it to her. She cracks open the whiskey and fills a small flask she takes out of her pocket. Then she puts the flask back in her pocket and starts chugging out of the bottle. Geez, Doc, that doesn't seem healthy. Who's the doctor here? Me or you? Okay, point taken. Was a sudden disappearance. Fair enough. Doc Alice continues to pour whiskey down her neck, occasionally stopping to breathe. Everything all right? That depends on how fast I can get this whiskey into my bloodstream compared to how fast my liver filters it out. And I can't talk and drink at the same time. So, she glares at you meaningfully. So what's the matter, Doc? What's the matter? The whole world's gone to hell in a horse cart and you ask what's the matter? Bandits, cow demons, dead men walking? Why don't you go ahead and pick one? I'll drink to that. Dead men walking? You haven't seen it? Corpses and skeletons staggering around like puppets with half their strings cut, looking to take a bite out of the living? Yep. We'll just count your lucky stars and stay out of the town cemetery then. Oh, shouldn't this be further away from the fireplace? The stove is spotless. Either she's really compulsive about cleaning, or she never cooks. Hey Doc, can I look at your books? Sure, if you want to. Not that they're gonna do you much good in this doomed, forsaken hellhole. You should try to be less cheerful, Doc. Check out the books. Oh yeah, cemetery is one of my locations. You survey the books on Alice's shelf. They're all medical textbooks, except for a few. Let's read The Legend of Curly's Meat. The book tells the story of a legendary treasure, a massive chest full of premium meat, secreted, in the hidden sense, not in the extruded sense, in the western desert by an old cowhand named Curly Butterfield. Let's read The Life and Works of Fred Ferguson. This book purports to be a Civil War surgeon's autobiography, but flipping through it you mostly just find lists of reasons that drinking alcohol is bad, so it's actually a work of ludicrous speculative fiction. Haha! At least there are some useful appendices in the back, and some diagrams of appendices. You got 3 XP. Leaf through the goblinoid tongues, a primer. You start flipping through the goblin language book. It's confusing at first, but you eventually get so engrossed that by the time you take a break from reading, several blurfs have passed, and you also know that blurf is the goblin word for hour. You have learned to speak goblin. Sort of. You speak a little bit of goblin, at least enough to order a beer, which is the important thing. You can communicate like with goblins. Make like a tree and leaf. Vanity doesn't look like it's seen much use. Preen a little. You grab a pair of tweezers and pluck some of your more unsightly eyebrows. Oop. Talk to you. Alright. So now that we've done that, now we can go back into the bar, and instead of just straight up killing him, we can talk to the goblin. The goblin shouts, "I'm Gary." Hi, Gary. Hi, hello. Hello, I am Gary. Who are you? Introduce yourself. Well, I'm Luke. Hello, Luke. Good to meet you. What Luke doing down here? Well, Gary, to be honest, the bartender sent me down here to kill you. Gary wrinkles his nose. Hey, what? That being terrible idea. Bartender not being good idea, man. Gary wants to popping, but not here. Too close to home. Gary wants to popping, far up and high away. New Gary everywhere. Man, goblins are freaking weird. Settle down, Gary. Gary doesn't like to settling. Gary wants to traveling and popping. If Luke going far up and high away, maybe taking Gary with you, eh? I'll think about it. And now let's go see the sheriff. Hey, a beer mug. Howdy, stranger. Welcome to Boring Springs. I'm the sheriff in these parts. The what? He sighs. The sheriff, okay? Blasted sign painters. Say, you wouldn't happen to be looking for work, would you? As a matter of fact, these fucking walks, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stupid walking is one of the best things. As a matter of fact, I am. Great, because I happen to have some. There's a gang of hoodlums around here what call themselves the Fricker Gang. Last time I arrested one of them, they busted him out and took my cell door with them. It ain't much good without the door. And I need somebody tough, smart, and or slick to go fetch it back for me. Why don't you do it? You're the sheriff, after all. I gotta stay here and practice my chair tipping. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Funny you should say that, because I'm sending the deputy along with you. Keep you out of trouble. Takes a pistol out of his desk and hands it to you. Deputy pistol. This pistol was deputized during one of the sheriff's bizarre recent benders. Deputy? You deputized a gun? You're new in town. Maybe you ain't noticed, but there ain't much to do here except drink. Here, let me write down where the Fricker Gang's hideout is for you. Makes a little note on your map. Discovered a new location, the Fricker Gang's hideout. Got it. I'll be back with the door. Wanted for bird theft. Naked Mike Bernstein. Word of 200 meat. Help wanted. Wanted poster artist. Apply in person at the Yuma's Marshal's office. Wanted. Demi Fricker for face thieving. Word of 420 meat. I'm an adventurer. Alright. Oh, let's go to the Boring Springs Boneyard. Our founder, Zephaniah Boring, 1806 to 1885. He was actually a really interesting guy. Ugh. Benjamin Crockett, 1320 to 1364. He showed up way too early. He took an arrow to the knee. Yeah, fair enough. Beauregard Skeleton, Captain, 3rd Cavalry, 1820 to 1866. Grave is really noisy. That reminds me, I actually have to go back to Boring Springs really quick, because we got the newspaper, which we can give to Cactus Bill. It's been a while since I've played through this game, so I don't fully remember the correct order. Bring me something to read? Give him the newspaper. Give him the newspaper you found in the basement of the saloon. Much obliged, partner. Now let's see, what can I do to return the favor? Oh, I know, my shovel. I left it behind the outhouse at Orehole Mine. It's yours if you go and get it. I'm sure you'll find a use for it. Thank you. Behind the outhouse at Orehole Mine. Got it. Thanks, Bill. Don't mention it. Now, if you could just kind of stick that newspaper to my face before you leave. Stick the newspaper to him. Apparently that saying means marriage. I've heard that as well. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but yeah, I have also heard that that's what that means. This is where Bill said to look. Look behind the outhouse. Hey, he wasn't kidding. Not that this would have been a funny thing to kid about, I guess. You got a shovel. A device for turning the ground into holes. There's still some meat ore in this cart. Score! We got 65 meat. Guess we'll just clear out ore hole while we're here. Another mug. instructions for the cargo elevator. Mechanism is labeled Cargo Elevator Control. Poster on the wall behind reads, Level 1, Blasting Cap Storage. Level 2, Plungers, both kind. Level 3, Tools. Where do you want to send the cargo elevator? Let's get some tools. It's a toolbox, but it's locked. Let's pick the lock. You managed to unlock the toolbox, but the needle is ruined in the process. Most of the tools inside are rusted away to nothing, but there's a pretty nice crowbar. It's got a crowbar. Send it to level 1. These crates are all labeled blasting caps. The period is part of the label. That's why it's inside the quotes like that one. Like that. Grab one. You pry one of the crates open with your crowbar and grab a blasting cap. And send it to level 2. Get some plungers. Both kinds, apparently. Plungers. The sign lied. The sign lied, though. There's only the one kind. You got a detonation plunger. The minecart is still full. You got an unrefined meat nugget. This looks dangerous. Hook up the plunger to it. Fighting against your instincts for self-preservation, you've hooked up a plunger and strung it a fair distance away. This makes you nervous. Press the plunger. You press the plunger and nothing happens. You forgot to hook up a blasting cap. Dang it. Add a blasting cap. Okay, you've succeeded in putting yourself in grave danger. Kaboom. Neat. A silver nugget. You see the dark horse. Barely. Approach her. Hey there, girl. It's okay. I'm a friend. Yeah. The horse shies away from you, though in this case it's more like cripplingly introverts away from you. Reassure her. Oh, come on, don't be like that. Look, I brought some oats for you. They aren't poison or anything. In retrospect, I guess that wasn't a very comforting thing to say. Eat her the oats. Take a handful of oats out of the bag and hold them out to the horse. Here you go. Yum yum. Snort. She sidles away from you warily and makes a surprisingly good attempt at hiding in her own shadow. Come on, please. Pat her on the nose. As you reach out to pat her nose, the horse ducks and steps further back into the shadows. Oh, come on. Nay. The oats yourself. Look, they're fine, see? You take a handful from the bag and toss them into your mouth. Ugh. It's like the roughest, blandest breakfast cereal you've ever eaten. Still, it's better than dry cat food. Don't ask. You smile to show the horse that you're fine and realize that you've unconsciously turned around and walked out the door. Jeez, these are powerful. The horse looks at you warily as you re-enter with a cheerful wave. See? Perfectly fine. Eat the oats. You take a handful of oats out of the bag and hold them out to... Alright, I gotta pat her first. The horse hunches her shoulders and seems to shrink slightly as you pat her nose, but she doesn't actually flee, so that's something. Here's a good girl. Winnie? Eat her the oats. The horse finally seems relaxed enough around you, so you offer her a handful of the oats. Warily, begrudgingly, she eats them, then she gestures at something behind you. You turn around to look, but don't see anything. You turn back, and she's gone. Well, okay then. Sorry, I think I'm going to be taking a lot more drink breaks during this playthrough, because there's going to be a lot of talking involved. Alright, now that we have the shovel, we can dig up Beauregard's skeleton. And here's how our combat system works. So it's, you know, your kind of traditional turn-based RPG. We'll have melee attack, ranged attack, and because we're a Beanslinger, we have spells. Let's see. So we'll cast Beam Shield to increase our armor by 4, which also won't end our turn, and then we'll shoot him. Ow. Yep. You put a stop to Captain Skeleton's unnatural animation. Got an old cavalry saber and a gold tooth. Sweet. Who's that cavalry neighbor? Skeleton. You're not getting past it without a scuffle. A scuffle it is. Got the jump on him. Lava fava. Skeleton collapses into a pile of loose bones. Cool. Your pulse quickens as you get near the spooky, translucent horse. Approach her. You approach the weird, semi-transparent horse cautiously so as to not startle her, but you quickly come to the realization that this is not a horse that startles you. Hello there. Hi. I'm a friend, okay? Hey. That's a little strange. How you did that without opening your mouth? Pat her on the nose. You pat the horse's nose, which is very cold. If you're going to ride her, you would want an extra saddle blanket to keep your butt from freezing. For the oats. Here you go, girl. Have some oats. You hold out a handful of oats for the horse, but she just sort of stares right through you. Ugh. Please don't look at me like that. Snort. Try the oat again. The horse continues to ignore them. What's the matter? Are they not spooky enough? Not sure how to make oats spooky. I guess I could put some bone meal on. I don't have anything handy to grind up bones with. Grave dirt? Penny. Did he yes? Weird. Okay. Add some grave dirt to the oats. That was a good... Oh, thank you. You sprinkle the oats with just a little bit of grave dirt and hold them out again. The horse gazes expressionlessly at them and eats them. Yay! And with that, she glides away in the direction of town. Dar. Timothy Cochran, 1855 to 1895, devoted husband. Elizabeth Cochran, 1887 to 1895, beloved daughter. Silas Cochran, 1895 to 1895, a baby. Alright, let's run back to the town, where we have learned things now. The woman glares at you. Are you Susie Cochran? How'd you know my last name? Saw the graves in the cemetery. Sorry for your loss. Susie scowls bitterly and mutters into her whiskey. Saw it happen. Saw the whole damn thing. Couldn't do nothing about it. Bartender said it was cows? Cows, right. I don't know what those things are. They ain't cows. Not anymore. What happened? It was a raid. See, Ma and Pa used to ranch cattle back before they came home. Pa didn't make it, but Ma and I managed to rebuild. We ranched pigs instead. She left me the place when she passed. Go on. Well, I guess a passing herd sniffed out that it used to be a cow ranch, and they attacked. A couple of days ago. Happened so fast I didn't even have the time to get my rifle out of the gun safe. House smashed in the front door, and a fire started out back by the root cellar. House went up in blazes, just like that. What'd you do? Wasn't anything I could do. Couldn't get upstairs to the kids because of the fire. Saw Tim trampled right in front of me. I just... drains her glass. I didn't want to talk about it anymore. Sorry. She refills her mug from a bottle on the bar and doesn't reply. What will you do now? Head west, I suppose. Nothing keeping me here and no desire to stay. Can't leave without my rifle, though. Why not? Ma's rifle. It's all I got left of anybody. Where is it? Left it at the ranch like a damn fool. Listen, can I ask you a favor? I need someone to go and get it for me. Yeah, I'll go get it. Susie shows you on the map where her ranch is. You discovered the Cochran Ranch. That walking is so creepy / funny. What do you mean? This is a perfectly normal way to traverse the Old West. Don't you know all cowboys walk like this? Alright. So let's go to the Cochran Ranch. Established 1891. All the water in this trough has boiled away. Susie's ranch house has probably said burned to the ground. The outhouse is the only thing still standing. And this one door. Something behind this door is making some pretty awful noises. Go through it anyway. Can't search the crate, apparently. Oh, fucking legend! Welcome in, Saint. Yes, we are doing a playthrough of West of Loathing and slowly driving Cannoli insane with basically a game that personifies his chat's humor come to life. Looks like somebody was in the middle of fixing a knife. You got a varmint skin and knife. These pies were not safe. This thing looks angry. You're not going to make it to that safe without dealing with it. No? Let's deal with it. A pyrobow. Alright, so it's on fire, so it won't be any good with my lava fava spell. So we'll cast bean armor. And then stab it with our sword. As it sets us on fire. Dick like that. Gotcha. You defeated the nasty cow skull floating in a cloud of flame. Hooray! It's the Cochran family gun safe. Grab Susie's rifle. It's an old rifle, but has obviously been well cared for. There are 6 little notches carved into the stock. Alright, excellent. If y'all will pardon me for just a moment, I need to go and get something to drink as I emptied my beverage, and I need plenty of liquid for this playthrough. Talking. I will be right back. Alright, and I have returned. Alright, let's go to the Fricker Gang's hideout. Alright, so here we go. This is going to determine the course of the playthrough. And I'm going to let chat decide. So, Thud Fricker, Fricker Gang's intrepid lookout, appears to be taking a little nap. So this is where we will decide if we are going to be more of a law-abiding, goody-two-shoes type character, or more of a vigilante, justice, ruthless... I don't want to say outlaw type, but it could also go that way. So basically this is kind of our opportunity to choose if we're going to do a good or an evil playthrough of this game. So, do we want to wake him up, or do we just want to shoot him? Alright, well there's one vote for shoot. Any other opinions? Well, I say wake him up, but I also say just shoot his ass. How did I miss that one? I blame Saint for using all caps. Okay, so there's technically then one vote for waking him up and 2 votes for shooting him. So, I was kind of hoping that y'all would vote to just shoot him. And that's part of the reason why I'm also happy that I'm playing a Beanslinger. Because you can get some evil spells in this game. So I am 100% down with doing an evil playthrough of this game. So yeah, just shoot him. It doesn't seem very sportsmanlike. sure you want to do that? Yes. Really? You're just gonna gun down a hapless sleeping man in cold blood? Cold is the only blood I have. Shoot him! He's just a kid! Everyone dies! Pull the trigger! Dang, partner. You got a perk. Ruthless. You're a cold-blooded killer, and people can see it in your eyes. It's often the last thing they see, in fact. Ruthless options will be available in some situations. Huzzah! It's a pile of random stuff the Fricker gang stole. Finders keepers. 25 meat, covered mug, and a pair of silver cufflinks. One of the Fricker boys is dozing in a bathtub. Psst. That's the soap. He mumbles and hands you a bar of soap before sinking deeper into both sleep and the tub. Got a bar of soap. Cool. One of the Fricker boys is dozing in a bathtub. Drown him. You push his head under the water and hold him there until he stops struggling. At least he died warm. You cautiously approach the Fricker gang. They're pretty engrossed in their poker game, so it doesn't actually require that much caution. You hide behind a barrel and eavesdrop on their conversation for a while. The one with the eye patch is quiet, but you gather that his name is Snipe, and that the squirrely one is his brother, Wimpy. What's your play here? Yes, but I'm no normal evil. I'm evil that was born into good and chose to indulge the crazy. No comment. I'm gonna shoot one of them in the back. You draw your pistol and execute the one with the eye patch. His brother screams, jumps behind a barrel, and starts firing at you wildly. This shouldn't take long. Got the jump on him. Lava fava! So the other kind of interesting thing about the combat in this game is he's behind a barrel. So if I were to try and use ranged, I would end up hitting the barrel instead. So, yeah. So we'll just stab him. The leaders of the Fricker gang are dead by your hand. The sheriff will be proud of you, but you're not sure how your mother would feel. Time to recover the sheriff's door. A mug on the table. Pile of Fricker's ill-gotten gains. 50 meat. It's the sheriff's door. Got it. This should go back to the sheriff as soon as possible. We just have that in our pocket now. Alright, before we do that, we will go to Thousand Snakes Gulch. The snake looks sleepy, but not that sleepy. Before that, let's see what I've got for... Alright, so got some good levels here. So I've got 20 more here. Oh yeah, that makes all my spells better. Absolutely, I'm gonna level that up. Here we go. Attack it! Got the jump on him. 12 damage. Lava Fava! You have slain a snake. Before long, they'll call you Snake Murdering Luke. You gain 3 XP. You whip out your trusty varmint skin and knife and go to town. Got a rattleskin snake. You hope none of that rattlesnake's kin come looking for it. Put it on your hat to add +3 muscle. Yay! Alright, so we have an ad starting here in about 10 seconds. So I'm going to take a quick break. So, yeah, use this as an opportunity. Get up, stretch your legs, get something to drink, something to eat, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Welcome to the crew line.
Alright, ads will be over here in about 10 seconds, and we'll get back to it. And, Saint, thank you for gifting a sub to Base. I really appreciate it. Base, welcome aboard the Nightingale. You've been conscripted. Well, I see that my chat is getting along, so that's always nice. Everybody being happy and whatnot. I'm gonna go fight this snake now. Another snake? Well, I guess it's not called One Snake Gulch. Also rather happy because when my dogs lit up earlier with FedEx showing up, that was them delivering my new chair. Huzzah! Gonna behave. This snake looks really angry. You're gonna need every trick in the book to beat this one. I'm good at tricks. Lava fava. Gotcha. Nice work. If the whole cowboy thing doesn't work out, you could always get a job as a snake exterminator. Yep. This horse has gone snake crazy. Or maybe he has some other kind of crazy before him. Hey there, boy. Hey, fella. I'm a friend, okay? It's cool, alright? Be cool. Don't freak out on me. Winnie! Look him in the eyes. You calmly look the horse in the eyes. One of them is fixed in a glassy 1,000-yard stare, and the other is revolving madly in its socket, like he's thinking of trying to escape in every direction simultaneously. He looks to be calming down a little now that it's clear you aren't actually made of spiders, though. Pat his nose. You carefully and gently pat the horse's nose. He twitches a bit. Okay, a lot. But seems to recognize that you aren't going to eat his eyes or suck out his soul or whatever madness is bouncing around that skull of his. That's a good boy. Ugh. Feed him the oats. You hungry, boy? Got a little treat for you. Snurf. You feed the crazy horse some of the homing oats, and it gallops away with a whinny, or rather with a whinny. Hopefully he's headed home and not into the 12th dimension. Get it? Crazy horse? Huh? Huh? Cool. I guess instead of Thousand Snakes Gulch, this should have been named Three Snake Gulch. Can't get over your nays. What can I say? I want to lend authenticity. If I upgrade my gumption... Yeah, gumption is just going to be important. I need speed and I need AP. So also to explain, grit gives me stomach capacity, gumption gives me spleen capacity, and glamour gives me liver capacity. So there are consumable items you can get in this game broken down into food, liquids, and like potions. And how many of them you can have active at a time are based upon how high those skills are. And I'll also grab another Mysticality. And back to the town of Boring Springs. Let's go give the sheriff his door back. I see the Fricker gang hasn't put a stop to you breathing. You rescue my cell door? You hand the sheriff his door and he hangs it back on its hinges. Nice work, stranger. This here prison cell just got about 4 times more secure. Are there any Fricker boys left for me to round up? Nope, they won't be bothering this town anymore. Well now, that's a right load off my mind. Looks like I owe you a reward. Produces a big bag of meat. 500 meat. Got another little task for you if you got the time. Should be a lot simpler than the last one. What you need? Well, the frickers busted the lock when they took the door. Didn't need a new lock. An eye out. Step right up, step right up. Braid's the name and trade's the game. Alright, so I will trade you this bar of soap for a lock. And I've got 3 rattler skins. Braid's eyes light up. My, oh my, how brave you must be. He grabs the skins and hands you a shiny pocket watch. Fine, silver pocket watch. This pocket watch is both fine and dandy. I want to keep my needle, and I still don't have Dickerin, so I can't get any free dynamite. Not that I really need dynamite. Howdy. You managed to scare up a lock from a cell? Yep, got one right here. You hand the sheriff the lock. That'll do nicely. The sheriff puts the lock on the cell door, then accidentally drops the key and it clatters into the cell. Hellfire. Don't suppose you know how to pick a lock, stranger. You got a needle handy? See what I can do.
That was impressive.
Oh. Well, thank you. I definitely picked the lock. I unlocked your cell for you. The sheriff walks into the cell and picks up the key. He looks around for a place to hide it and eventually sticks it under his hat. Thank you kindly, stranger. If Orange Springs ever gets any more criminals, they better watch out. That's a good job you done. Don't mention it. Here, have this as a souvenir of your time in Orange Springs. Replica sheriff badge. This is a plastic facsimile of the sheriff's badge. He usually gives them to children who tour the jail. This item goes on your lapel, plus 1 armor. Thanks, sheriff. Found my rifle yet, stranger? Yep, she is. Susie's eyes well up with tears as you hand her the rifle, and she roughly scrubs her sleeve across her face before any of them spill over. Thanks, stranger. I didn't catch your name. I'm Luke. Thanks, Luke. Can't rightly say what this means to me. She looks at the rifle for a long moment, then looks back at you. She sighs. Well, that's enough wallowing in my misery. Time for me to hit the road. Want me to tag along when you head west? Say the word. Sounds good, Susie. I found these mugs. Much obliged. 150 meat. Hey, Pete. What do you say, Pete? Who, me? Well, heck, I say all kinds of things. For instance, I've been mining these mountains longer than a bald-headed mule can take a massage. Uh-huh. Pete takes a swig of whiskey. He notices the nugget of silver you found earlier. I'll take that old silver nugget off of your hands, if you like. Give you 81 meat for it. Show him the nugget. Okay, it's a deal. He smiles and hands you some meat. Fine and dandy. Pete squints and points at the unrefined meat ore you're carrying. You ain't seem like someone got much use for unrefined ore, stranger. I'll buy it off of you for 73 meat. Okay, Pete, here you go. Pleasure doing business with you. Pete's eyes narrow as the gears in his head start to click. He fixes his gaze on you, and the tick in his eyelids seems more pronounced. Listen, kid, all this stuff what I've been buying from you? You been spending time underground, ain't you? Well, you listen to old Pete's advice. You stay out of ore hole if you know what's good for you. There's stuff down there on the 40th level that ain't worth messing with for a feller wants to keep his eyes. If you catch my meaning. Not sure I do, but thanks. All right, let's immediately go to ore hole. You suddenly remember that weird thing that Pete said about level 40. Is a real thing? Where do you want to send the cargo elevator? To level 40. It's a strange black chest. A wave of nausea hits you as you slide the heavy lid off the chest. Inside there is a hat. It looks evil. And not in an abstract way. It has eyes, and they look like the eyes of a murderer. It has teeth, which looks like the teeth of an animal who would be a murderer if animals understood the concept of murder. Put it on. You have a sense of foreboding. Something tells you this is a bad idea. It's me. I'm telling you this is a bad idea. If you put this hat on, you won't ever be able to take it off, and things will be much harder for you. It will be as though your life is a game, and that game's difficulty level is greatly increased, if you catch my meaning. This is how you get hard mode, which I am not going to do. Because some of the best fun of this game is all the different wacky hats you can. So we are not going to wear the hard hat, but I still wanted to just show you all that. I'm gonna get him! Someday I'll catch R2. I don't know how you spotted her hiding in that mine, but thanks for sending back my dark horse. Sure thing. Looks like my pale horse made it back safe. Thanks for your help. Anytime. Thanks for finding my crazy horse. He was eating loco weed again, wasn't he? Not that I noticed. That's all of them. I can't thank you enough. Here's a little extra for you. Thanks. Afternoon, sir. What can I do for you? Sell me a horse? Sure thing. I should warn you, though, horses get mighty attached to their riders. Once you bought one, you won't be able to change your mind later. Which one are you interested in? What does hard mode change? Well, it makes the enemies hit way harder, like unbelievably harder. You can't change out your hat at all, and for a lot of the game, the different hats will give you different bonuses and whatnot. So, you know, it's like if you find a really good hat with really good stats, you won't be able to wear it. Also, will not be able to choose Crazy Pete to be your partner. He will not go with you if you were wearing a hard hat. It's a fun playthrough to do, but not for this specific one, I guess. In my opinion, if you are going to go for the hard hat, you probably want to be a cowpuncher, which is the melee-focused class, because that's the one that'll give you the best, like, damage and armor. As a Beanslinger, I'm fairly squishy. I say the spooky pale horse. Well, that was going to be my question of what everybody thinks the best horse would be to take. So we've got the basic model, the shifty-looking dark one, the spooky pale one, or the one with the crazy eyes. And this will be our horse for the rest of the game. There's not too terribly many, like, too much of a difference between taking the horses. All right, so that's two votes for the ghost one. So we will almost certainly be going with that. You can get some, like, horse random encounters, basically, depending on which one you take. It will send you to different things. With perhaps the exception of the basic model, I've never actually just taken the basic horse. Alright, well, everybody's saying spooky ghost horse. So, we will take the spooky pale one. I'll go with the spooky pale one. Good choice. That's a good horse, if you like that sort of thing. I'll sell her for 1,000 meat. What sort of thing? You know, spooky stuff. Spooky stuff? I don't want to get into particulars. Let's just say she sets a certain tone. Ooh, mysterious. I'll take her. Thanks. Here's the keys. Ride safe. Give her a name. Alright. So, just like with naming our character, what do we want to name our spooky ghost horse? Patrick Swayze? Lilith? Lily, are you saying that you want me to be riding you for this entire game? Just for that one joke, I kind of want to just name her Lilith. No, that's not what I meant. Oh, well, that's the way that we're going to take it. So, Lilith. Are you sure you want to name your horse Lilith? Yes. All right then, Lilith the horse. It's got a nice ring to it. I was going for spooky. Well, you're spooky. Oh, and I almost forgot. Free with every horse purchase is a complimentary map. You got an item. Southeast West map. Thanks. All right. Once you leave Boring Springs, you won't be able to come back. Any unfinished business you've got will forever remain unfinished. Are you sure you're ready to leave? Yes. Alrighty then. You're properly horsed and ready to start your new life in the West. All you need now is a partner, somebody to share the trail with, somebody you can rely on for emotional and combat support. Who will you take with? Oh, on second thought, don't leave yet. I did not finish one thing. I forgot to go back and talk to Doc Alice after I saw dead men walking. Hi, Doc. Oh yeah, there was a skeleton in the cemetery. It's nice to get some outside confirmation that I'm not losing my damn mind. But how is that even possible? It isn't possible. It goes against everything I know about medicine. Dead patients don't get back up. Patients? Oh. Shh. Doc Alice turns away grimacing. Every doctor loses one now and again. You never get used to it, but, well, it happens. What doesn't happen is them coming back afterward and looking for revenge. Must be pretty rough. Rough? Buddy, I don't think you comprehend the situation. Not just patients. It's neighbors, friends, husbands. Oh, She turns away from you and focuses her attention back on the bottle. What now? What's the deal with all the TNT? So when I feel like I'm about to go, I can blow myself into bits so small there won't be nothing left to come back. That seems drastic. Drastic? Hell! No way am I taking the risk of becoming one of those things. Fair enough, I suppose. You have any idea what's causing the resurrections? Well, I heard a rumor. A rumor? What is it? It's when you get incomplete information from an unverified source. Anyway, what I heard is there's a fella out west that's causing it. A necromancer, they call him. Supposedly, he's sending magic out into the world somehow. Magic like we Beanslingers use? Never heard of any Beanslinger raising the dead, have you? Skull deepens. That'd be one hell of a can of beans. About that necromancer. Assuming he exists, what about him? Well, maybe someone ought to try and stop him. Doc Alice gives you a sharp look. You? Because I know you ain't talking about me. Why not you? A gray-haired old woman that knows as much about fighting as a squirrel-nosed surgery? You hit your head on a bar stool, kid? You aren't that old. And if we're gonna pick someone to go up against a necromancer, it'd be someone who also knows about death, but in a scientific way. A doctor, right? Doc Alice stares hard at you and takes a swig from her bottle, saying nothing. And it sounds to me like you've got plenty of motivation to get the job done. For your friends and everyone. She continues to look at you. You can see the gears turning in her head. Eat's doing nothing anyway. Eat's locking yourself in a house full of TNT and drinking yourself to death. You aren't even doing any doctoring anymore. She winces and looks away, then shakes her head slowly. You seriously expect me to ride out west by myself, chasing a rumor? It doesn't have to be by yourself. I'm heading west too. Tag along with me, and maybe we can find the guy and put a stop to him. Crazy. Impossible. Impossible, like raising the dead is impossible? Alice crosses her arms and regards you thoughtfully. A spark slowly brightens in her eyes. Alright, kid. What the hell? Let's give it a shot. Cool. Alright, now we can leave Boring Springs. Now we have all the options unlocked. Okay, so we can choose. We can only have one partner. So we can either take Crazy Pete, Doc Alice, Susie Cochran, Gary the Goblin, or go it alone. Not recommended. So they each have their own different skills and abilities and different things that they can help you out with out on the trail. Doc Alice or Goblin is my vote. All right. So Crazy Pete, he will help us in mines to be able to get more more ore. Doc Alice is really good at fighting skeletons. The downside of Susie or Pete, Doc Alice, instead of which, you offered two names. So who did you put on by mistake, Lily? Susie is, she's probably the strongest character as far as outright damage. But her downside is that she's only ranged, so if they have cover, it doesn't really work. And Gary is just kind of a bag of crazy. He's a lot of fun, and he'll help you out in goblin encounters. The downside with Crazy Pete is that he's not really that strong of an attacker. He's more of a debuff character. And so I know at this point we have 2 people that are saying Doc Alice. The downside of taking Doc Alice is she will not let us learn the necromancy skills because she is very against it. We've kind of started setting things up to do a role to replace the necromancer by choosing to be evil and being a Beanslinger. So if we take Doc Alice with us, we won't be able to go down that route. But that being said, I'm leaving it up to chat. So yeah, I guess what is everybody's primary votes? Okay, we've got 1 vote for Susie. We've got 1 vote for Gary. And we either have an extra vote for Susie or an extra vote for Pete. Oh, okay, and never mind. There's another vote for Gary. So yeah, all right. In that case, we will be taking Gary the Goblin along with us. I'll be honest, Gary is usually my primary choice. I love Gary so much, and I like doing his voice, so I was hoping y'all would choose Gary, but this was one of the one of the choices I was just going to roll with whatever chat said. So let's take Gary the Goblin. You head back to the saloon's basement and smuggle Gary out under your coat. Hit the trail. You consult the southeast-west map the hostler gave you. It only lists 2 things, the town of Dirtwater and the Manifest Destiny Railroad Company's westernmost camp. Discovered the town of Dirtwater and the Manifest Destiny Railroad Camp. Head for Dirtwater. I originally voted Doc Alice as well because I figured, oh, Doc, she must be a medic. Didn't even think of any possible downsides like stopping your entire build. Yeah, and, that's the thing, it's like she is a medic. She can heal you, and she also has, she's okay in combat, but she really shines when fighting skeletons. She actually has a skill that will just insta-kill any skeleton, which is pretty fucking cool. But yeah, it is kind of a bummer that she won't let you be a necromancer, which I understand because, that's her whole motivation for going west. But anyway, day 1, first day of the rest of your life. And Gary's freaking out. It's your partner. Hey there, Gary. Wanting more goblins meeting? Gary is hearing about goblins in Old Fort nearby. You discovered Fort Cowardice. All right. And, okay, I don't really care about his tips on what to do. This water is for horses only. And look, a spooky ghost carriage, which we will be interacting with eventually. So that is how we will access the DLC. For now, let's go into the Jewel's Saloon. Another spittoon! This is a spittoon, which is a sort of brass bucket that people spit into instead of spitting on the floor, because not spitting at all is not an option in this society, I guess. I say this despite knowing that you're pretty intimately familiar with spittoons already. Sicko. I'm sorry, DLC. Yes, indeed. It is a ghost-themed DLC called Reckonin' at Gun Manor. It is a humorous take on the legend of the Winchester House. So yeah, this, just to show you here. All right, so here's our map. Right, we've got this one location. This game's fucking big. I would say depending on how you play this game, it could easily be 20 to 30 hours long. It is long. And yeah, they brought in the DLC for the Reckoning at Gun Manor, which is fairly amusing. Gotta be honest, was not expecting it. Yeah, this game kind of surprised a lot of people. And I think you would be most interested, Cannoli, in the sequel called Shadows Over Loathing, which takes place in the 1920s and is kind of an investigative Lovecraftian eldritch horror theme instead of a comedy Western game. It's still comedy. It's still got the same comedy vibes that that this game does. But yeah, so it's 1920s eldritch comedy instead of late 1800s cowboy. Thought this was just a shorter game that has multiple choice endings. Nope. This game is long. Which I am happy for, because I adore this game. It is hilarious. It is exactly my brand of humor. Anyway, let's inspect the spittoon. Look, the Jewel Saloon is pretty nice as saloons go. Actual glass in the windows, more than 2 kinds of drinks, a poker room instead of a cockfighting pit, but the spittoon is still a spittoon. The rancid tobacco spit inside it isn't fancy rancid tobacco spit. Inspect it. Here we go again. Alright, fine. You are now hunkered down next to a brass filth bucket, which has probably never been cleaned or emptied because you're near the desert, and the ambient humidity around here is pretty low. Low enough that the spit evaporates nearly as quickly as it accumulates. So that's good, right? No, that's bad, because it's only the water part of the spit that evaporates. The brass bucket is half full of the rest of the spit, the toxins and filth that don't evaporate. Several years worth, distilled and concentrated until it's the consistency of molasses. People aren't allowed to flick cigarette butts into the spittoon anymore because they bounce out. Search it. You're about to put your hand into a bucket of something the color and viscosity of maple syrup. Except instead of maple, it's flavored with the inside of the mouths of people who chew cigars instead of smoking them and have never brushed their teeth. Yeah. Glorp. It feels like putting your hand into a bucket of lukewarm tapioca pudding. Except instead of tapioca, it's basically poison. It smells like someone ran over a skunk, waited a week, then set it on fire. It feels like your hand is dissolving. Keep searching. You found something. You found a tacky, filth-covered porcelain cow figurine. A useless, disgusting thing that will make a great heirloom for your children, assuming you're still able to have any, and you hate them. Filthy porcelain cow. You have to hold this little porcelain cow upside down because it's filled with tobacco spit and you don't want to spill out the little hole in the bottom of it. This item goes in your offhand, 3 to melee attack damage and 3 to spell damage. I'm assuming you missed the first spittoon we explored, Lily, when we got the nasty ring. Yeah, spittoons are definitely a thing in this game. They're engrossed in conversation. Let them be. This gal don't look like she's in the mood to talk. Well, howdy there. Always nice to see a new face in town. Welcome to the Jewel Saloon. Hi, thanks, I'm Luke. Glad to know you, Luke. Folks around here just call me Lloyd. What can I do for you? Nice to meet you, Lloyd. I saw that sign out front advertising a room. That's right, finest room in the house and plenty of room for your partner, too. You interested? How much does it cost? Well, that's where you're in luck. The previous tenant was a banker fella, and he paid a month in advance right before getting himself killed by bandits. You seem like a decent sort, so the room's yours if you want it. Gratis. Wow, great. These guys must have fallen asleep during a brawl. Let's go check out our room. Fancy. This is Gary's bed. Look at yourself in the mirror. Insult yourself. You call yourself a vulture-sniffing, foul-flushing jerk. You gain an effect. Angry. You're madder than a hornet. Your anger level gets higher than 1, you'll pass out from rage. So, this is kind of like a a risk reward thing in this game. Whenever you lose combat, or lose in combat, you gain a level of angry. Each level gives you +3 in your main 3 stats, so it will make you a lot stronger. But once you get higher than your maximum anger level, which at this point I can only be at anger level 1, you pass out, and then you'll wake up here in the jewel, and a new day will have started. And the main downside to that is that any of the consumable items that you eat, they only last for the day. So if you sleep or if you pass out, you then no longer have the effects and buffs from those items. Tell me a random fact. All right, well, here's one that I learned yesterday from my friend Marrow. Which this is kind of common knowledge, but it's more it was more in depth than I was aware of. Because a lot of people know that the octopus can manage to like fit through really tiny holes. But every single type of octopus, with the exception of the giant squid, basically the kraken, is able to like it can disassemble its beak and basically almost turn it gelatinous to where they can fit their entire body through the eye of a needle. So that's how tiny of a hole that squids and octopus can fit through. And that just absolutely blew my mind. Because that one might have been more well known, I'm going to give you 2 for 1. And first I'm going to cough. 1 second. So the other random fact that might be less well known is one of my favorite ones concerning space and the formation of rings on planets. Any planet that has a ring, that ring used to be a moon, or at least a large enough object that was in its orbit. And eventually this will happen to Earth as well. It's going to take several billion years. But the moons will eventually get close enough where the gravitational force of the planet that they are orbiting is going to rip that moon apart. And that is how rings are created on planets. So yeah, several billion years from now, Earth will have a ring and no longer have a moon. Unless we get a new moon by then. Hashtag we want Earth rings. Something tells me that if human life still exists on Earth at the time of that, that will be an extinction event. We rely on the moon for so much, and having it just gone would affect just the entirety of our environment in so many ways. But it's cool to think about, and just very glad that it's not something we will live to experience. But who knows? You know, eventually maybe we'll have another moon. Technically, we had a second quote unquote moon for a couple of months recently. There was an incredibly large asteroid that got caught in Earth's gravitational pull, and I think it was like for 4 or 5 months it was orbiting before it, managed to get out of the pull. But we had a second object orbiting Earth, so we did technically have 2 moons there for a while. Earlier this year, I think it was, which is really cool. My fact for you is the world record for most kids goes to a woman with 69 kids. She had 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. Holy shit. Why? God damn. Nice view from up here. There's a postcard in this little table. We will take it. We got a blank postcard. This is a blank postcard. Maybe you should write to your family back home. In case you don't know how the mail works, you send these by going to a building called a post office and giving it to the correspondence wizard who works from there. Kind of decided that when you give a fact, I'll give one too. Fair enough. Dirtwater Mercantile. Hello there. Welcome to Dirtwater Mercantile. All right. Got 1009 meat. Yes, we are going to buy advanced bean craft to learn a new bean slinging skill. This is a cookbook. A cookbook specializing in bean recipes. Bag of Shroom Grow. Gary will want this. This is a bag of patented Shroom Grow Miracle Fungal Fertilizer, guaranteed to increase the size and intensity of any mycological specimen. And we will buy that because that is how Gary levels up. Posture has been checked. Thank you. All right, so let's read Advanced Beancraft, Volume 9? No. Why am I blanking? What is that? Is that 11? No. No, that's not 11. I don't know what that Roman numeral is. Huh. Oh well. There's a recipe for a wall-shaped pile of beans that looks pretty interesting. Gives Bean Wall, a spell that will create a wall of beans that provides cover from ranged attacks. Is that 9? Alright, fair enough. There's a list of meditation techniques to help you concentrate while cooking and or fighting. Gives Use the Old Bean, a skill that temporarily increases your mysticality during a fight. Ooh, good. It includes a chapter about making human-sized or larger automatons and binding them to your will to help with kitchen tasks. Gives Bean Golem, a combat skill which summons a powerful golem to fight for you. Interesting. All right, well, any opinions here? I guess I will also ask the opinion, or to get opinions. Do you guys want to choose the skills that I learn from these books, or do you want me to pick? I'm good either way. Eventually, we will find enough books to just learn all of them. But it'll take a while. Alright, there's a vote for Bean Golem, which I assume is also a vote for Let Chat pick. Or pardon me, Let the Text of the Damned pick. Alright, I will give it about 10 more seconds. What's the Old Bean? The Old Bean, amazingly, a really cool hidden fact about this game. If you read what's on the screen, it actually tells you what things do. I know, it's crazy, right? Use the Old Bean will temporarily increase my mysticality during a fight, which will increase any of my magic type damage. Thank you for what? For sassing Saint? Fair enough. Alright, I'll give it about 10 more seconds, and if I don't see any other potential votes, we will go with Bean Golem. Alright, I wasn't really counting, but that's been long enough. We will learn Bean Golem. You practice making servants out of beans until you're pretty good at it. You got a skill, Bean Golem. Unfortunately, one of your earlier experiments gets a little rowdy and eats the book. Bad Golem. So they always have some fairly amusing reasons of why you don't get to keep the skill book afterwards. One or two of them are kind of like, that's boring, but... This little girl is selling flowers. I will buy some. 50 meat for sweet smelling flowers. These flowers smell really good. This item goes in your offhand. 15% stench resistance. Hi, I'm Luke Low Brain Juice. Any mail for me? Nope. Darn. Well, I'd like to send a postcard. No, alrighty, let's have it. You write a quick note to Rufus letting him know what you've been up to and that you're okay. That'll be, oh, it's one of them prepaid ones. That'll be 0 meat then. Thanks. Jail. The clerk clears her throat. Howdy, are you the sheriff here? No, we don't currently have a sheriff. I could be the sheriff, maybe. You have law enforcement experience? Not really. Have you been to sheriff school? No. Do you have an existing relationship with Dirtwater's local government? Are you familiar with all the local ordinances? Do you even live here? No. Then what, may I ask in tarnation, makes you think you'd be qualified to be the sheriff? I just assumed. You just assumed that you could mosey into town and become sheriff on your first day. Well, when you put it that way, she snorts. If I had 5 meat for every wide-eyed protagonist-looking kid who wanders in here thinking they're the most important tenderfoot to ever strap on iron, I wouldn't need this dead-end clerking job. Sorry. Okay. Like I said, happens all the time. Offer to help. Need any help until you find a new sheriff? Sure, if you're any good with a gun, there's always somebody in need of some justice. Wanted posters are back there, cells are over yonder. She points behind her and off to the right respectively. Take your leave. It's a wanted poster, or a wanted poster, if accuracy is important. Read it. It says, wanted! The House in the Desert Gang. For mortgage non-payment, squatting, and general public nuisance. Also for murdering 2 collection agents. Last seen at the House in the Desert. 500 meat reward. Wonder if the house is named after them, or if they're named after the house. In any case, at least their location is unambiguous. Want to go after them? Yes. You take note of the location of the house and resolve to bring the house gang to justice. It's a wanted poster. No, wait, you misread. It's a wasted poster? Close enough. The poster reads, Wasted! The Stripey Hat Gang for grand theft paint and tasteless hat vandalism. Last seen in the vicinity of Cavern Canyon. 1,000 meat reward. Dirty, rotten paint thieves and low-down, no-fashion sense hat vandals. Despicable. Want to go after them? Yes. Alright. Lots available. Lot available. Lot available. Lot available. Lot available. Lot available. Not a lot available past this point. I just use this. Yes. Give to Gary. You give the bag of shroom grow to Gary, and he tears it open and starts shoving brown lumps into his mouth. A deliciousness! Gary has become more powerful. Groovy. Let's see. I have absolutely no XP. Alright. Oh, wait, there's one other quest that I can pick up here. Got to check out the kitchen in Jewel Saloon. Oh, there's a poker room. These guys are having a spirited discussion about guns and which of theirs is nicer. Well, alrighty then. Kitchen. This lady is too busy washing dishes to pay attention to you. Hey, what are you doing in here? Employees only, bub. Oh, sorry. I was just, looking around. So you're the nosy type, eh? Well, I prefer adventuresome. As it happens, there's something you can do for me. I'm out of saltpeter and need someone to go pick me up some more. Saltpeter? Isn't that used to make gunpowder? And other things. Look, who's the chef here, me or you? Okay, where can I find it? Your best bet's a military camp. Because it's used to make gunpowder? Shut up. Nearest one is Fort Cowardice. They keep it in the little green jars. Alright, be right back. Stage. Look, I found a bell. Ding, 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 ding. The chair fell over. Set it back up. There we go. 1 XP. Poker room. This table is full up. No room at this table. I think I can do better on this one a little bit later once I have higher stats. All right. Well, let's yeah, let's just go take care of the house in the desert gang. You hear a rustling sound and trace it to a small gulch nearby. Peeking over the edge, you see a goblin rustling around in the brush. Presumably, it's a gulch goblin rustler. Always kind of assumed that referred to a different sort of rustling, though. It looks up at you and makes some angry-sounding goblin noises. It's saying human! Hey, what? Down here looking, stopping it! Oh, if I had Outfoxed, I could charge it a rustling tax. So, I could have Gary talk to it. But that always just rewards you with the same thing, which I might do eventually, but for now, we're just going to jump down and fight it. Got the jump on him. A Moxius Goblin. Well, let's just use up this fungicide, because we'll never need it again. There we go. You clobber the goblin and find some goodies in the shrubbery he was rustling. We got a goblin sandwich. This is both a sandwich for goblins and a sandwich where the meat is goblin. Increases your moxie by 5 for the rest of the day, but decreases your muscle and mysticality by 3. That's terrible. As you dismount and approach the house where the bandits are holed up, you hear a voice from inside say, "What was that?" Uh-oh. Looks like you're gonna have to be sneaky if you want to avoid a full-on fracas. So what do we think? Do we want Sneaky to be our middle name? Yes? Alrighty then. Luke Sneaky Low Brain Juice it is. Wait, really? Yes, Sneaky is my middle name. Okay, if you say so. Thanks. I think. Yep, and there it is. Luke Sneaky Low Brain Juice. I love this game. From the sounds of it, you'd say this doghouse contains an angry dog. This doghouse contains an angry dog. Very funny. You're not going to be able to get past it without alerting the gang inside the house. Bring 'em on. So yeah, that's the other thing. You know, we're kind of locked into it because there's a lot of different gangs that you can hunt down for the sheriff. Or no, this is the actual sheriff. No, she's a clerk. Anyway, you can arrest a lot of people, and you can choose to bring them in dead or alive. And a lot of that will also depend on if you chose the Ruthless or whatever the one that isn't Ruthless is called that I can't remember. Alright. Summons a bean golem to fight for you. This will not end your turn. Use up all of our action points. But I want to see our bean golem. It's going to be small for right now, but yeah. So Gary will Gary Foo the target 2 times, dealing 13 to 16 damage with each blow. Gary will spawn a goblin grunt to assist you with the fight. That skill absolutely sucks. So we will have him Gary Foo Art House. So my summoned golem will just kind of fight independently. I don't have control over what it does. There we go. Justice has been served to the old house gang. bag of ears and such. You didn't feel like carrying the entire House of the Desert Gang back to town, so you just took a few bits. Oh, we got the Desert Gang 6-gun. This is a fancy 6-gun. You might even go so far as to rate it a 7-gun. Hooray! Let's equip that, because that's definitely going to be better than Deputy Pistol, and it raises our Moxie by 1. Excellent. M. McCready, 1846 to 1887, stuck to his guns. Alright. Well, we've got more bandits to do, and we got to get the saltpeter from Fort Cowardice, so let's go do that before we head back to Dirtwater. You encounter a family of scared settlers trying to pack their wagon to head back east out of Dirtwater. They're having a hard time getting everything situated. Help them pack. Using your advanced spatial skills, you nestle everything into the wagon with space to spare. Now they won't have to leave their children behind. You gain 10 XP. Danger! Spider! Booze, medicine, weapons. I'm going to open the weapons crate because you can only open one of these. This crate has weapons scrawled on it in black paint. Because once you open one, you dig through the crate. It's mostly full of packing straw, but you find a pretty fancy knife at the bottom. You got fancy knife. This is the kind of knife you'd wield at a fancy cocktail party. You hear a sudden chittering coming from that big hole behind you. Now there's a big spider there. You must have a death wish standing this close to this thing. You should leave right now before that spider eats you. I will. Nope. I'll open the map. The 5 to 6. 7 to 9 plus 3 Moxie, absolutely. Okay, you are really pushing your luck here. If you get any closer, they're definitely going to attack you. Okay, then. Gotta jump on him. Bean Golem. Gary Ferdinand Jenkins. And there we go. You put an end to the Stripy Hat Gang's reign of bad taste. You take the leader's tattooed tooth as a means of identifying him. This is one of the teeth that until recently was in the mouth of the leader of the Stripy Hat Gang. You will also take one of those horrible hats as a souvenir. We got Stripy Hat. This hat is terrible and everyone will hate you if you wear it, minus 3 Moxie. Hooray! Was it a big spider like from Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter? Because one may be friendly. No, it is definitely not a friendly spider. You can't actually fight it. But, well, I'll clear out the rest of the stuff in here. Silence phone alarm. Thank you. Saint, how dare you? I saw that notification pop up. I thought you were watching my stream, but no, you want to play Half-Life 2. Fine, be that way. Looks like this place needs a new bartender. What's this? He had a jaw harp in his pocket. Maybe they killed him for playing the jaw harp too much. You got an item, jaw harp. It's a little twanger. You can plunk it if you like. While these bottles are empty, a few bottles left on the shelf. Cheap whiskey, cheap tequila, and cheap wine. Moxie, Mysticality, or Muscle by 3 for the rest of the day. You know what? Sure. Why not? Let's increase our muscle. This isn't the fanciest whiskey in the West, but let's face it, you're not the fanciest cowpoke in the West either. Guzzle it. You drink the cheap whiskey. It reminds you of college. College Rather, your buddy from grade school who died of cirrhosis. Grade school, Kansas, where you once spent a summer at camp. Memories. must be a Virgo. I don't understand that reference because I know very, very little about... Oh, wait. Was this because of the clip you sent me? Sorry, the ADHD multitasking is a calling. Man, you have ADHDs? Why do you need that many? Danger! Kitchen! Nothing on this shelf looks good. This poor chef is chained to the wall. His eyes widen as you approach. Hey, you're not one of them. Are you here to rescue me? Sure. Oh, thank goodness. He thrusts his hands into yours and shakes vigorously. I'm Doug. Luke. How do you do, Doug? Well, I've been chained up in this dank cave for weeks, cooking for those stripy-headed idiots. Sounds awful. Want to know the worst part? There's a perfectly good oven 8 feet to my right, and a shelf of perfectly good ingredients 8 feet to my left. How's that the worst part? This chain is only 4 feet long. Ah, that's rough. I know, right? There I was, fresh out of culinary school with a million meat idea in my head, and now here I am, 4 feet shy of my dreams, cooking the same pot of soup over and over again. What million meat idea? You promised not to steal my idea, right? Yeah, I promise. Okay then, it's a new kind of sandwich. Oh, ads are starting. So I will hold off on continuing to read that. And let's see what we got. Chat. Collector. Nice. So earlier when you asked about the volume of the game, not much was going on, but now with all the music and combat sound effects, I must say, if the game was just a notch lower, it would not hurt me. Alright? How's that? Does that sound any better, or should I lower it more? Okay, so that's not just me. I thought it was a tiny bit loud, but thought it was my imagination. Maybe another notch or two. All right. All right. How about that? I know sometimes the music can, like, pick up in tempo. Good? Excellent. All right. And thank you for letting me know. And, you know, this applies to anybody if, you know, ever playing and it seems like the game is too loud or too quiet. Please let me know and I can adjust it. You know, I want the audio to be good for everybody so everybody's able to hear what's going on, but also hear me if I am talking. So, yeah, I have no issues adjusting sound volume. You know, I really wish that, I don't know, this is another one of those games that if I go to the other screen, all the, like, sound effects and everything ends. Okay. So, upon looking at it, there is nobody in chat right now, that isn't subscribed. I think. Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, yes, okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue then, I guess. Instead of just, you know, sitting here for another minute and a half. So, okay then. It's a new kind of sandwich, or maybe a taco. It's so revolutionary that I'm not quite sure where it fits in the whole hand food taxonomy, to be honest. Anyway, in the middle of it, there's a sausage, but it's a sausage made from the cheapest parts of a pig, ground up so finely that you can't identify them anymore. Okay. And it's served in a long split roll, which soaks up the grease so you can't tell how fatty the sausage is. And the best part? The name. You ready to hear the name? Sure. I call it the hot dog. What do you think? How about the hot Luke instead? Don't be ridiculous. Hot Luke? What does that even mean? Ridiculous. Hey, there's no need to be mean about it. Besides, not that any of this even matters. Even if I did get off this chain, there's no point in hanging around in this empty cave making hot dogs just for myself. I don't even like the taste of them. I could set up shop in Dirtwater. Brilliant! You're a genius, Luke. Hot dogs for sale all day, every day. I'll make a mint. Say, there's an idea. What if I added mint to the sausage mixture? You help him break his chains. He leaves the cave, hauling the oven and the shelf of ingredients, muttering to himself about new sausage recipes. That's that, then. I haven't had a hot dog in a while. So anyway, yeah, as I was saying before with the spider, can pry off these boards. These boards can't hide from your prying eyes or your prying crowbar. This door has like 15 deadbolts on it. The note tacked to it says, please don't open this door unless you want to get eaten by a giant spider. Even then, don't open it, because the rest of us don't want to get eaten by a spider. It isn't even signed, so you can hardly be expected to take it seriously. The door. The tunnel behind this opening goes straight up. There's no way to get through it unless you're a huge spider. So basically you're able to do that, and then the spider would come out and wrap up all of the Stripey Hat Gang in cocoons, and then that's how you're able to take them back alive. A skeleton approaches you in that jittery stop-motion-y way that skeletons do. Judging by its hat, it appears to be the skeleton of a Beanslinger. You remember the classic saying, old Beanslingers die like normal people, and sometimes they keep walking around and casting spells at you afterward. Fight that old has-been. Lava Fava. And Gary Foo. Thank you, Gary. You beat up the skeleton and search it for loot, which is much easier with skeletons than with most other types. Got a handful of loose teeth and bean-stained pants. It's hard to put beans on the inside without getting beans on the outside. At least it was for whoever's pants these were. +3 spell damage. Hell yeah. Auto-equip them. Excellent. Just like the old saying goes, when life gives you cannons, make a cannonade. This cabinet is mostly empty, but there are a handful of boring personnel records in the back of one drawer. Examine them. They are incredibly boring. No, really, I want details. Fine, you read one. Patricia Smith, secretary, pay grade C5. Bunch of numbers, missed days. Satisfied? No, another. Hey, you're just looking at the same ones you've read before. What's wrong with you? I can't get enough. So this is essentially pointless. There's a later quest you can use that for to help figure out a puzzle. This was once a reception desk, but now the most appropriate thing for it to receive would be a free trip to the dump. Looks like there's still some good mess left. Take it. Military grade whiskey, hardtack. Excellent. This cupboard is bare. Also, it's not really a cupboard. It's a spice rack. Little green unlabeled jars. Hopefully this is the stuff the shelf was looking for. Shaker of saltpeter. This was the subject of a classic comedy bit at the Last Supper. Stove is beyond cleaning. Black. No. You hear the sounds of several goblins snoring inside this tent. Not bothering, letting them sleep. Hey, okay. Based on the papers and anatomical diagrams scattered across its surface, you're guessing this desk belonged to Fort Cowardice's nurse. Look at the papers. The papers are mostly just boring medical records, dental daguerreotypes, lamentations that antibiotics haven't been discovered yet, that kind of thing. Hey, what's this? This looks like it might be important. Marching orders. This is a set of army marching orders from before all of the army's marching orders were march back east just as fast as your lily-livered little yellow-bellied feet can go, you damnable cowards. Look at the diagrams. They're just a bunch of disgusting drawings of sliced open bodies. Alright. Stealth still has unlooted medical supplies. Render them looted. Oh. And I do not have safe Kraken yet. This sign says toilet in Goblin, which makes sense, which makes it seem pretty likely that the goblins used this tent as a toilet. No way are you going in there. Yikes, this mishap definitely got somebody fired. It's an unusually sized cannonball. A demi-culverin cannonball. This cannon is made to fit a demi-culverin, a cannon with a bore diameter of 10 centimeters. No demi less, no demi more. Okay, we're going to get some more experience and then come back here because I want to get my outfoxing skill up a little bit more. Because there is a persuasion check that I want to do. So let's head back to Dirtwater. Get some more bounties. Off to one side of the trail, you see a covered wagon and a small family of settlers who look upset. You folks okay? We were on our way to Dirtwater, but our wagon went and broke down on us. That's rough. You're liable to get attacked by bandits out here, or snakes, or coyotes, or ghosts, or other things that basically live exclusively on stranded travelers. Isn't there something you can do to help us? I guess we'll give you a ride to Dirtwater. All right, I'll give you a... Wait a minute. You got 2 horses hitched to this wagon. Why don't you just ride the horses? What? You know how to ride a horse, don't you? Just ride to Dirtwater. But these are cart horses. Oh, for the love of... Help them ride to Dirtwater. You help the confused settlers figure out how to sit on the back of a cart horse and lead them to Dirtwater on a rope. Sigh. Howdy, what do you need? Give her what's left of the Desert House Gang. Well, this certainly is a bag of severed ears and teeth and such. Which gang was this? The House in the Desert Gang. I'll take your word for it. Good job. Thanks a bundle. Give her the tattooed tooth. Yep, that's the tattooed tooth of the leader of the Stripey Hat Gang, alright. I'd recognize it anywhere. Another wanted poster. Poster reads, Wanted! The Potemkin Gang for unlicensed civil engineering and flaunting of construction regulations. Last seen in an unregistered settlement north of Dirtwater. Poster shows the location of the suspicious city the gang is hiding out in. Want to go check it out? Sure. You note the location, resolved to bring these unlicensed builders to justice. Yet another wanted poster. Lots of criminals around these parts. Poster says wanted, the Black Hat Bandits, for horse theft and the selling of counterfeit glue. Last seen headed north towards the old millinery. Interesting. No good can come of criminals with access to hat-making machinery. Want to go investigate? Yes, indeed. You mark the location of the millinery on your map and spend some time saying millinery over and over. You discover the new map location, the old millinery. Millinery, millinery, millinery. It's a good word. Howdy, Doug. Well, if it isn't my savior, good old Luke. Howdy yourself. Sign outside. Yeah, I had to change the name. Tried to file a trademark, and it turns out there's already something called a hot dog. What is it? Trust me, you don't want to know. I wish I didn't know. Anyway, a single letter removed and I'm in business. He gestures at the menu on the wall behind him. Let's buy something. Get an elegant dog. This is exactly enough sausage and exactly enough bun to qualify as a hot dog. It is perfectly elegant. A thick, sturdy hot dog for a thick, sturdy cowboy. A saucy dog. This hot dog has been embellished with a zesty sauce. Don't get too excited though. The zesty sauce is just regular old mustard. I mean, I'll get an elegant one to increase my mysticality. That seems good. You eat the hot dog using the exact minimum amount of energy for biting and chewing. You gain an effect. Elegant doggin. Optimal. Oh, this game's ridiculous. Alright, cool. That should be plenty of levels. Level 3 out of 5 for... Your keen eyes detect a secluded cave in the near distance. Exploring it would definitely be a good use of your time. Discovered a new map location. Shaggy Dog Cave. We'll go there in a little bit. Oh, what you got, Gary? Howdy, Gary. Oh, Gary knowing a thing to see. Oh, yeah? What is it? A gigantic poop. What? taller than Gary. You discovered a new map location, the Big Apple. Okay. Thanks for that, Gary. In general, this is a door. More specifically, it's the door to the general's office. Even more specifically, it's the locked door to the general's office. Pick the lock. Hi there. Goblin seated at this desk is repeatedly firing their pistol at that pie safe. Get their attention. Say, what you are doing? Shooting pies. Always shooting pies. Could you elaborating on that? By shooting a pie? Yes. To destroying, obviously. Must to destroying a terrible pie. What is wrong with a pie? Bah, a human will never understanding. Ask again. No, really, why a pie shooting? Shut up! So much angry! Look, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure being a pie is destroyed. Destroy a... Huh? Look, so many holes in a pie safe. You winning. A pie is dead. You certain being? Waiting here, I will checking. You peek through the bullet holes. Yep, that pie is shot to hell. Hooray, you are success. A pie is so very destroyed being. I doing it? So much doing it. But now what? Huh? What I shooting now? I guess you finding another pie? What? There are more pies being? Yes, a world is full of pies. Oh no, this violencing will never ending. Sorry, being not wishing to enabling this behavior. No, this is my cross bearing. I must going and continuing the fight. Okay. Thanking you. Okay, I wishing you good luck against the forces of pie, and we shall outfucks them. You should leaving a hat and gun, having a fresh start. Yes, correct being. I will fighting each pie as if it is first pie being. Got General Gobb's hat and General Gobb's pistol. General Gobb strides out the door, jaw clenched, eyes resolute with pie hatred. Well, that was weird, I guess. Well, that was weird. I guess I'm the general now. General Gobb's pistol. This pistol is not of goblin manufacture, which you can tell because it doesn't look like complete garbage. Quite the opposite, in fact. It looks like not garbage. 8 damage. This is 6 to 7 and 1 extra moxie, so I'm going to keep that. The general's hat contains old memories of violence and more recent memories of violence against pies specifically. Due to muscle, I prefer my barely enchanted hat. There's a single pie inside shot to pieces. Lead pie. This is a pie that has been shot so many times that its filling is now 100% bullets. Increases range damage by 10 for the rest of the day. Damn, that's pretty good. All right, let's get this over with. A few hundred yards up the trail, you see a solitary skeleton trudging towards the northwest. Doesn't seem to have noticed you, or anything really. Well, let's attack it. Lava flava. Lava. Yeah, here we go. You won. Hey, skeleton, sucks to be you. Alright, give me a second to mentally prepare for what horror that is Shaggy Dog Cave. Okay. There's a plaque bolted to the cave wall here. A record of the events of the expedition to and into Shaggy Dog Cave, November 1887, as recorded by Jim Plackbright. Having acquired through various and sundry means a story which is interesting in its own right, but better saved for another time, a map purporting to lead to a large cache of jewels and ingots of precious metals hidden by the infamous highwayman and train robber Black Cole Jr. in the years before the cows came home. I, Jim Plackbright, along with 3 compatriots, those being Nathaniel Wyman, Cyrus Howard, and Douglas Watts, set out to find Shaggy Dog Cave and the aforementioned treasure. Our equipment and provisions consisted of one cart and a horse to pull it, 4 additional horses to be ridden, 2 shovels, a spade, and a mining pick, a large coil of rope, 1 large basket of eggs, as well as an assortment of other trail provisions and cookware, my own collection of blank plaques and engraving tools, 1 large and shaggy dog, and a butt-for. After traveling for 2.5 days to the south and east, we arrived at a small town named Dirtwater, the largest settlement in the vicinity of Shaggy Dog Cave. Leaving the dog to watch the horses, the 4 of us entered the local saloon and each ordered a beer, except Sai, who was satisfied with water. The barman provided our drinks as requested and then withdrew a small wooden box from underneath the bar, asking if we'd care to witness something real interesting. Considering that we still had quite a few hours left to travel, we politely declined and asked him if he knew the way to Shaggy Dog Cave. He replied that he had never been there personally, but gave us rough directions, which correlated nicely with the notes on our map. Upon leaving the saloon, we discovered to our dismay that some unknown villain had tampered with our wagon. Fortunately, the only supplies missing were the butt-for and the entire basket of eggs, apart from the one that Doug had concealed within a pocket for safekeeping. We also discovered that the dog had absconded with one of the horses, forcing Nate and Sai, after drawing of lots, to share.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Thank you for the double Joe Hendry to give me a break from reading these plaques. I appreciate that. After acquiring a barrel of fresh water for the trip, as well as a replacement butt-for, we headed out into the open desert. The sun shone down mercilessly upon us, though we took small solace in the fact that it would have been far more intolerable had we made this expedition during the summer months rather than November, in order to pass the time on the trip and resist becoming dazed from the heat and susceptible to desert mirages. We exchanged stories of our youth, which I will not be retelling here for reasons of length. Nah, that's funny. However, I will relate to you 3 odd occurrences that happened to us during our trek through the desert. The first was 2 or 3 hours out of Dirtwater when Nate noticed a glint of sunlight upon a metallic object partially buried in the sand. This was revealed to be a brass oil lamp of foreign design and manufacture, which fortuitously still contained a quantity of oil. Deciding this might come in handy, we stashed it in the wagon with our other tools. Our next encounter was with a nomadic goblin tribesman who we discovered spoke excellent English. It inquired as to our destination and we replied that we were looking for Shaggy Dog Cave, though we did not disclose the reason for our journey. Goblin confirmed that we were heading on the correct course and mentioned that he had only a short time earlier witnessed a large and shaggy dog riding a horse in the same direction. We all agreed that this was an unusual sight indeed and continued on our way. Sometime later, we encountered a large adobe hut, occupied by 2 identical-seeming old men with wild hair and long white beards. They invited us to take shelter from the heat, which we gratefully accepted, and introduced themselves as hermits. This struck me as peculiar, given that there were 2 of them, but I felt it would be rude to question them on that point. One of the hermits confirmed that we were near Shaggy Dog Cave, and the other hermit confirmed that what his brother said was true. They also commented that they had seen a large and shaggy dog riding a horse in that direction. We all agreed that this was an unusual sight indeed. The hermits refreshed our water supply in exchange for our butt for, and we continued on our way, excited to finally be nearing our goal. After 2 more hours, we finally arrived at Shaggy Dog Cave. Carefully keeping our excitement in check, lest we become incautious, we unloaded our equipment and supplies from the wagon and took a brief respite in the cool shade of the cave entrance. To celebrate our arrival, Doug unpocketed and shared the egg he had saved from our breakfast that had been stolen in Dirtwater. Once we were rested, we decided the time had come to explore the cave. Discovering that we had neglected to pack torches, lanterns, or any other light source with which to illuminate the cave, we declared that it was indeed fortuitous that Nate had discovered that antique oil lamp during our travels. He gave the brass a quick shine and then lit the wick, and we were relieved to discover that it lit easily and provided a very adequate amount of light. As we headed into the cave, we were further encouraged by the fact that the floor was quite even and easy to traverse, and that there were no side passages which might cause us to become lost. Despite this, I resolved to hang a number of plaques to mark our progress through the cave and engraved them with the tale of our journey, such that others who discover the cave after us might be entertained and edified by our story. Soon we came to the end of the tunnel. While Nate, Cy, and Doug took turns with the excavation, I completed the last of the aforementioned plaques. It was a matter of perhaps an hour before Cy's shovel struck a wooden surface with a hollow noise, and we hauled a traditionally styled treasure chest out of the hole with great excitement. The chest was locked with an ancient and rusting iron padlock, which broke easily from a single swing of our pickaxe. We opened the lid slowly, and the flickering light of the antique oil lamp shone brilliantly upon jewels of every color and shining ingots of precious metals, just as promised by the legends of Black Hole Jr. Joyous at our triumph, we loaded the chest into our wagon and began the journey home. Thank you for reading, and may your own endeavors be equally successful. Signed, Jim Plackwright. It's a hole, a completely empty one. And that is the entire purpose of this location. My throat hurts now. So, let's go to the Big Apple. You encounter an overturned wagon surrounded by ruined books and broken pairs of spectacles. Looks like a family of especially literate homesteaders met an untimely end here. Tragic. Look through the wreckage. You pour over the detritus and manage to find exactly one book that is both undestroyed and remotely interesting to you. Advanced Beancraft Volume 15. Nice! As you reach the center of the clearing, you are simultaneously struck with a profound awe and a terrible stench as you discover the largest road apple you have ever seen. You can't even imagine how this got here. Was it a giant horse? Was it 200 normal-sized horses acting collaboratively? They should have sent a poet. Yeah, they should have. Alright, let's read that new book. Alright, so once again we have bean wall option. There's a chapter about cooking bean dishes so small that they have to be served intravenously. Gives blood beans, a skill that lets you regenerate health during combat. There's a whole set of recipes for ice-cold bean-based desserts. Gives Great Northern Blizzard, a spell which deals cold damage to all of your enemies. So what are we thinking? A wall to protect from ranged attacks, a skill to regenerate our health, or a cold area of effect spell? And while we are thinking, because I am hilarious,
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada.
and perfect timing, just as the Shipmeister pops in. Welcome in, Schiff. Hope you're doing well.
Joe Hendry.
One more time!
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Thank you for the follow-up, Joe Hendry Cannoli. Blood Beans would be my go-to because I love blood magic type stuff, but I imagine the ice AoE is probably a lot more raw damage. Generally, I would agree. I mean, they're both really useful. Honestly, I find Bean Wall to be kind of not that great because it only works against ranged attacks. So yeah, me personally, I'm between Blood Beans and Great Northern Blizzard. No problem. So do we have any other thoughts on which new Beanslinger skill we should obtain here? Blood Beans? Alright, well, I'll say that that's 2 for Blood Beans, so even if somebody else popped in and said, no, do this, you're still outvoted. So, oh, Lily. He might be stiff, but his name is Schiff. Alright, let's learn Blood Beans. You master the art of microscopic bean conjuration and fill your bloodstream with restorative proteins. You got a skill, Blood Beans. Oh, it's a passive. Nice, I don't even have to, That's awesome. It's not a spell that I actually have to, cast. It just automatically is going to regenerate health every round. That's way better than I thought it would be. Unfortunately, you get so distracted by your newfound vigor that you misplace the book. That one's kind of boring on how that one got lost, but either way, still, that's a way better skill than I thought it was, and I already thought it was gonna be a good skill. Hell yeah. Take muscle just to have it at 10 here. And then I should probably save for lock-picking expertise. See, I could be nice. Doesn't smell any better up close. All right. So I get that we're shoveling this. Where are we shoveling it to? Yay! So yeah, that was a thing for some reason. All right. Go take out the Potemkin gang. As you're riding along, your eye is drawn to a polka-dotted flower growing on the side of the trail. It's a northern clownwort. Unfortunately, I don't have the foraging skill. What you got, Gary? Hello, Gary. Oh, nearing a weird cave. What? Gary was out here once, finding a cave of humming. Very strange, too scary. Well, that sounds interesting. You discover a new map location. Humming Cave. A bar. No entry. Real jail. The guy shouts, visiting hours are over, and runs over to stop you. Non-fake horse sellers. Get away from me. Genuine TNT and sandwiches. Guy shouts, that place is condemned. It's not safe to go in there. Town hall. For an actual town. Bandit looks distraught. What's the matter, buddy? Lost my belt buckle. Did you look near the sandwich shop? Oh, good idea. I'll look there. Keep following you. There we go. Now everybody is in front of genuine TNT and sandwiches. You duck into the outhouse to plan your next move. While you're pondering, you notice something weird. This outhouse has a back door. This'll kill 3 jailbirds with 1 barrel? Let's press the plunger. Ruthless. Boom. The blasted remains of the Potemkin gang. Scoop them up. Remains of the Potemkin gang. These 3 little piles of sticky black goo are all that's left of the Potemkin gang. Yep. You see a streak of fire blast across the sky and land just over the horizon. You ride to the site of the impact and find a meteor. Pick up the loose pieces. You scour the area around the impact crater. 582 meat. Nice. You walk into the millinery and find 5 bandits lounging around on big piles of half-made hats. It's the law! Skedaddle! Bandits scatter like cockroaches, each shutting themselves behind a different door. Guess you'll have to wrangle them individually. Fine. Gee, I wonder which one he is. Is this where they're hiding? J'accuse! Ah, that one moved. J'accuse! This one is different. J'accuse! Gonna lurk from bed. You enjoy your lurk. Game looks great, by the way. This game is absolutely hilarious. I highly recommend it. But you enjoy your lurk? Won't be going too terribly much longer, but then we'll be raiding out to Cannoli, so I'll be sending y'all over there soonish. Aha! J'accuse! And what if I decide not to stream? How would you raid me then? I wouldn't, but then I would be sad. Don't want to make me sad, do you, Cannoli? This was apparently the demo model for a player piano showroom. It's only got 3 songs in it. They're all children's versions of traditional songs that are in the recently invented public domain, and they've all set up to play just the first few seconds on a loop. People who work here must have hated it. What song do you want to set the dial to? Well, think about it. Oh, the Yellow Rose of public domain? What about my old public domain home? Okay. Public domain Joe. Is that whistling you hear? Your love of music has doomed you. J'accuse! You found all 5 of the bandits. Deal with them. What do you want to do with these bandits? Shoot them. You shoot nice clean circles through all the bandits' hats. That gives you something to aim for when you execute them. 5 black hats with holes in them. This is proof you've dealt with the Millinery gang, and also you are devoid of compassion. Justice is served. Oh, I don't have a needle. That's unfortunate. Is there anything I can really do with the humming cave yet? Catch sight of the towers of an old mission nestled among the pines. I'm gonna keep going where I'm going. Huh, these rocks are weirdly organized. That snake isn't gonna let you pass without a struggle. A struggle it is. Yeah, that is definitely a strong snake. Airy Foo! Thank you, Bean Golem. You put an end to the shocking tale of the shocking snake. Got 2 snake livers. And an electric snake skin. Put it on your hat to add +7 spell damage. Nice. I will save that for when I get a better hat. I could have pushed that over first to avoid the fight, but I decided not to. Whoa, what is that thing? Whoop. What in the world? That looks dangerous. The monolith is dark. Looks like there was a huge cave in at some point. A weird device. You got an item. Strange stone arrow. Cool. Alright, let's go to the rescue mission. The strange stone arrow you just found starts going crazy, beeping and booping, whirling around of its own accord. It practically drags you in the direction of a strange, decrepit-looking house. You discovered a new map location. Professor's house. Go to the professor's house before we go to the rescue mission. Beeping machine leads you to a ramshackle house in the middle of the desert. Hey, look, a toilet. Professor's toilet isn't in very good repair. Flush it. Yay! 1 XP. This appears to be an extremely powerful magnifying mirror because basically an inside-out microscope. Check yourself. The microscopic mites that live in your eyelashes seem to be getting along just fine. These books are so boring it's a wonder the shelf isn't full of holes. A map annotated with circles and lines. Excuse me, mister. My name's Luke Lowbrainjuice. What? Oh, I didn't notice you come in. I'm not used to visitors, but folks generally call me the professor. Is there something I can do for you? Well, I found this bleeping gizmo, and I sort of followed the bleeping, and it led me here. Well, I'll be. It certainly led you to the right place, young man. This is El Vibrato technology. I happen to be as much an expert as anyone alive today. El what now? El Vibrato. They were an ancient race that lived here long before humans. Well, they mostly lived underground, so they might still be living as far as I know. Never seen a peep of an actual person, though. Just the machines they left behind. Were they space aliens? Could be aliens, or genius pre-humans, or an entirely different terrestrial evolutionary line. At this stage of investigation, it's impossible to say. Exciting, isn't it? Here, let me have a closer look at your bleeping gizmo. The device. Aha! As I suspected, this is one of their transponders. It detects other El Vibrato technology and homes in, you see. This is why it led you here. I've got a thing I've been trying to repair. He tinkers around with the transponder for a bit and then plugs a strange stone marble into the socket. There you go. Good as new. Just swipe up or down to turn it on or off. Got El Vibrato transponder. Swipe. Now I gotta warn you, this device will lead you to abandoned El Vibrato technology, but it might also attract unwanted attention. From what? From the El Vibrato technology. You'll see what I mean. Just be careful. Okay. You know, now that I think about it, you've arrived at the perfect time. In order to get anywhere further with my research, I need more samples of El Vibrato tech, but searching for it eats up all the time I could be using to research it. Ah, I get you. Right. You're the adventurous some type, so bring me back whatever device devices you find, and I can get them up and running. That'll benefit both of us. All right, deal. Great! First priority will be to get my keystone fabricator running. They locked their doors and things with these little stone alloy blocks, see? So if we can make our own, that'll open a lot of doors for us, literally and figuratively. Alright, what do we need? The components aren't rare, at least as far as priceless and ancient technology goes. Bring me, about 5 handfuls of scrap. I should be able to salvage the last parts I need from that much. Roger that. Doesn't look like this guy sleeps very much. This dresser contains 10 identical instances of the exact same shirt and 20 identical socks. This is the professor's keystone fabricator. He's waiting on some parts to finish it. Hint, hint. Alright, now we will go to the rescue mission. A rustling sound in the bushes draws your attention and you decide to investigate, because that's what adventurers do. No matter how bad of an idea it'll probably turn out to be. The rustling turns out to be a goblin wearing, clown makeup and practicing their cartwheels, and mostly failing. Eventually they give up on tumbling practice and start repeatedly throwing a shiny metal ball in the air and catching it. Let's talk to it. Wow, hello? Hello, hi! What you two doing? I am to learning a juggle. It tosses its single ball up in the air again, but distracted by the conversation, misses the catch. Okay, but why? A clown be coming, joining the circus, far away to traveling, far to traveling, and then to popping. Ah, okay. I guess that makes sense. Kind of. Shit to juggle. By outfoxing it? Better to juggling with more than one ball. Sorry, only one ball to having. You know who else only had is going to have... You know what? Never mind. What? You teach the goblin a simple levitation trick that makes a one-ball juggling routine a little more impressive, and they thank you by sharing their lunch. Oh boy, another goblin sandwich. Gosh, a real-life nun. Yes, I'm Sister Tabitha. I'm Luke Low Brain Juice. What's with these cots? Well, what with the cows' attacks and so on, I felt my faith would be better served by running this place as a clinic rather than just a church. I also sell medical supplies if you'd like your healing to go. Do you need an errand run or anything? Funny you should ask. I've been experimenting with the healing properties of a purple grass that grows near here, but I've run out. Would you mind picking some for me? It grows near a cave that makes an unusual humming sound. Oh sure, I think I know the place you mean. No problem, I'll be right back with it. Grab that. Oh. Lilith takes a weird turn somewhere and you find yourself completely surrounded by old dead trees. Where are you? A gray mist closes in on you as Lilith marches confidently forward through the gnarled and ancient forest. Shudder. Lilith stops. Through the fog ahead, you see a shape. You dismount to investigate, and it reveals itself to be the shape of a pedestal, topped with the shape of a book. A chill runs down your spine as you touch the book. Ooh, here we go. You got an item. Introductory Nex-Mex. Gonna grab my caffeine fix, enjoy the rest of the stream. Will do. Thanks for stopping by, Cannoli, and we shall see you later. Or in a little bit, once your stream starts going. This black-covered book, written in black ink on black paper, is a primer on the arts of southwestern necromancy, otherwise known as Nex-Mex. Gives you the Grinning Skull skill. Nice. We have our first necromancy book. This seems like it's probably pretty dangerous. Sure you want to read it? Yes. Okay, it's your funeral. Psh, whatever, Grandma. You cannot see the words on the page, but you can nevertheless read them. Your mind becomes stained with grim secrets. You got a skill, Grinning Skull. Skulls are scary, and ghosts are scary. So you know what would be double scary? Yes, you do. As you turn over the last page, the book vanishes in a puff of black smoke. Spooky. So much happening today? Is that good or bad? or both? This must be what the nun was talking about. You got purple grass. This purple grass has medicinal qualities, according to the nun at the mission way north of Dirtwater. A shot rings out and something buzzes past your ear. You quickly dive behind a rock just in case those two things are connected, and not just, say, someone hunting nearby and also there's a bee. Peering carefully around your rock, you eventually spot movement in the underbrush. It's a hunter with an old-fashioned matchlock rifle and a cloak with leaves stuck to it, which is less effective as camouflage than it sounds because all the trees around here are pine trees. You also notice that she's been laying out here a very long time, which you can infer by the way that she is literally a skeleton. I want to fight her instead of using magic to escape, because I might get a good pistol. Ow. 22 spooky damage. Oh, that is a strong person. So let's summon our good friend Bean Golem. And I will use this snake liver to heal Gary. And then we will stab this person. Gary Foo, go! No, my golem! Aha, gotcha. You won. Now it's the hunter who has become the hunted. I got cargo jeans. Alright. These things were out of style before your grandfather was born. That said, they've got lots of little pockets for you to keep bullets and extra gunpowder and stuff in. 4 pistol attack damage. Alright, I mean, I was kind of hoping for a better gun, but whatever. Welcome back. Were you able to find the humming cave in the purple grass? Yep, here you go. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Blessings upon you. Can I buy some medical supplies? Ooh, broken leg pills. You're not sure which is stranger. These work at all, or that they only work on legs? I will need that later. And same with these bottles of laudanum. Alright, cool. Well, let's head back to Dirtwater and turn in our bounties. Okay, 3 piles of sticky black goo. Gross. What's this for? That's the Potemkin gang. What the heck did you do to them? Don't ask. Okay, well, here's your reward. Next time bring back some less disgusting evidence, please. Thanks a bundle. 5 black hats with bullet holes in them. Black hat bandits, I presume? That's right. I guess where they're going, they won't need hats. Your reward. Thanks a bundle. We have one more, a 5th wanted poster. Poster says, Wanted, the Gherkin brothers, for kidnapping, brining kidnapping victims, and attempted sale of human flesh for consumption. Last seen headed for the old abandoned pickle factory. Can't let these dastardly criminals escape justice. It wouldn't be kosher. Would you like to investigate? Yes. You mark the old pickle factory down on your map. Hopefully chasing them down won't get you into a real, you know. This game, I swear. Alright, where's my XP? Part of me wants to upgrade my bean golem. No, I should wait and get better lockpicking. To the abandoned pickle factory. You see a sign labeled "This way to the Lazy A Dude Ranch" off the side of the trail. You mark the location on your map. Maybe later, dude. Ah. The haunted pickle factory. You feel a sudden electrical jolt as your hand touches the doorknob. Ouch! Oh no, you're late for your shift. Mrs. Vlass is gonna be so mad. She might literally bite your head off. Okay, well, not literally. Probably. Quick, get suited up. You clock in and hurriedly put on your bright green coveralls. Miss Vlass, as predicted, is furious. Late again? You better stop taking this job for granted. You think you're going to find a place with a nice dormitory and a reasonably priced company store like ours somewhere else with your skills? Ha! You're doing 3 shifts today, Buster. Get to work. You're on pickle hopper duty. Start your shift. Pickle hopper duty runs you ragged, like always. Keeping the hoppers filled to keep a constant flow down the chutes means you're constantly at a near sprint, because you have to manage the cuke shunts to keep the levels equal. If you get uneven pickle levels, Miss Vlass knows. Nobody knows how she knows, but she knows. A whack from her cane is the minimum you get. Damn it. At the end of the first 6-hour shift, you get a brief break. You cram a stale cheese sandwich into your mouth while Miss Vlass glares at her pocket watch, counting down 3 minutes to the second. Break's over, second shift, you get over to the salt tank, now! Oh god. Managing the salt tank isn't as strenuous as the pickle hoppers, but it's still a never-ending tension. The brine concentration has to be constantly monitored and kept at a very specific measurement, which means constant adjustments. Meanwhile, you can feel yourself desiccating from the haze of salt dust that fills the room. If anything in this place kills you, it's probably going to be salt tank duty. White lung is a nasty business. Cough. Cough on your own time, and get that salinity back to normal. It's supposed to be 976 parts per thousand. How hard is that to remember? 976, idiot! Please let me out of here. You get another 180-second break before third shift. You spend most of it drinking water. The company doesn't charge for water, but you've heard a rumor they're considering it. Break's over, get to the boiler! Oh no, please, let me out of here, please! Boiler duty means shoveling coal into a furnace that runs a gigantic tank of boiling vinegar. It stings in here. You tried to work with your eyes closed, but Miss Vlass screams at you if you drop any coal on the floor, or if you let the temperature get too low, or too high, or just for no particular reason. At least you're used to the smell of boiling vinegar. In fact, you can't smell anything anymore. Let me out, please let me out. 198 degrees, idiot, not 189, not 191. What do you think we pay you for? You don't really miss your sense of smell, or not coughing all the time. You don't really want anything anymore, except to die. Let me out, 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 let me out! With a gasp, you finally snap out of the horrible hallucination, or possession, or whatever the hell that was. Geez, you can still feel the sting of vinegar vapor in your eyes. You're at the pickle factory. You approach the ghost. Gotta. Can't sleep until it's right. Put him out of his misery. This could be a problem. Oh, boy. 1 to 4 damage each. Yeah, I don't think I should be here yet. Oh, boy. Yep, I'm definitely gonna die. Killed by ghost pickles. That man and his army of ghostly cucumbers really did a number on you. You come to amidst a pile of pickle-scented filth. You get so angry about losing that fight that you pass out. You wake up the next morning in your bed. Gary must have carried you back here after you got knocked out. You're a little sore, but not otherwise any worse for wear. You are pretty hungry, though, and sober. Let's mosey. Day 2. The second day of the rest of your life. Oh, that reminds me I should re-insult myself. Ow. Oh. This guy looks like he's in a lot of pain. You okay, buddy? Pretty sure my leg is broken, so no. What happened? Traffic accident? No, it just sort of broke all of a sudden. I guess I don't get enough vitamins or whatever. Good nutrition can be difficult in this day and age. I'm gonna need some medication for this. Can you help me? Sure. Thank you. There's a mission up north. The nuns there run a little hospital and sell medical supplies. Can you get me some broken leg pills? Actually, I already have some. Wow, thanks. I feel like a new man again, or at least the same man with a new leg. That's good. Go drink some milk or something, okay? He waves and skips happily away. Oh, that was nice. Anything new to sell? Nothing that I need. Let's go check the mail. Hi, I'm Luke Low Brain Juice. Any mail for me? Yes, actually. Package came for you. Here you are. A package from Rufus. It's a package from your younger brother Rufus. He's weird, but he's a sweet kid at heart. Thanks. Here, bro, I found this and thought it might help you not die. You got an item, Advanced Beancraft Volume... That. Nice. Let's learn a new bean-slinging skill. There's an article about butter and an article about beans, and the juxtaposition gives you an idea. Gives Butterbean, a spell that reduces an opponent's muscle, mysticality, and moxie. Bean wall again. And there's a poem scribbled in the margins whose words keep shifting and changing. Gives Uncanny Presence, a perk that provides resistances against elemental damage. Alright, so what are we thinking, chat? Anybody there? Ads are starting here in a few seconds, so I guess I'll actually take this opportunity to take a quick break, and we'll see what happens when we get back. Bean wall. Why would you choose bean wall? Alright, well, I'll remember the vote, and we will find out when we get back from ads. Be right back, everyone. All right, and we have returned. So, just to double check here, if anybody has any other votes, otherwise we will be going with Bean Wall, because Saint hates me apparently. A love mate. Apparently so. All right. Well, I'm not seeing any other opinions, so we shall learn Bean Wall. Maybe it'll come in handy at some point. You practice making hills of beans flatter and flatter until they become walls. You got a skill, Bean Wall. Unfortunately, just as you finally master the technique, you drop the book on the other side of one of those walls and lose it. Aww. And I have a lot of meat. All right. Go to the Lazy A Dude Ranch. With a shout, well, more of a loud hiss, a skeleton leaps at you from the underbrush. He's wearing a cavalry hat and has a cavalry saber, but isn't riding a cavalry horse, which I'm pretty sure is the main thing that differentiates cavalry from infantry, if not the only thing. Fight him. Let's outfox him and question his designation. Hold on there just a minute, soldier. What's an infantry soldier doing wearing a cavalry hat? Hiss, chatter. What kind of fool do you take me for? Cavalry soldiers ride horses. That's what cavalry means. If you're cavalry, where's your horse? That's what I thought. Give me that hat, soldier. You can have it back when I see you riding a horse. The skeleton glumly turns over his hat and marches away. Old cavalry hat. Nice. This hat will lend verisimilitude to your performance if you ever decide to swoop in at the last minute and fix something. 2 to armor and 4 to muscle. Not bad. Cool. Ooh. Got a needle. Looks like someone's been washing ferrets in this thing. Fuck. An old burned crate. Guess it came with the property. Pick it open. The stuff inside is unburnt. That's a pretty good crate. Got a bar of soap, and depressed rancher candy. Like all things for ranchers, this candy was a lot better before the cows came home. Ah, that's great. Oh, hi. Hey, like, howdy. I'm selling herbal remedies. Care to buy? What kind of herbal remedies? The kind that are gifted to us by Gaia without any interference by human hands. So, weeds. That's a derogatory term created by the man, but yeah, basically. Sure, let's buy one. Hey, groovy, thanks. You got herbal remedy. This is a little pile of random dried weeds folded up in a satchel of paper. Garbage stored in garbage, essentially. Doesn't do anything. Thanks for that. Howdy. Hey, yeah, howdy, man. What's happening? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Oh, not much, man. We moved onto this little patch of land to grow crops, but then we decided it's more natural to just let Gaia grow whatever she wants, right? I bet that's a lot easier, too. Right on, man. Neat. Where'd you get that hat? Oh, this? A friend of mine made it, man. I forget which one. What do you take for it? Well, I have been thinking of trying a new style, man. Maybe like one of those hats the army guys used to wear back in the day. Like it's kind of an ironic statement, man. There's an old fort over yonder that-a-way. I'll swap you if you can find one of those, man. Fort all dead. Okay, I'll check it out. Groovy, man. Can I trade him General Gobb's hat? Nope. Howdy, I'm Luke. I'm Louise. Louise Lathrop. Why the long face, Louise? Ah, geez. Basically because I'm stuck here farming with a couple of dummies who don't know how to farm a dang thing, so they just let the weeds grow and call it natural. I'm so sick of eating dandelions I could scream. Why don't you leave? Got any meat, or any other prospects, or anywhere to go? I mean, dandelions are terrible, but they're better than eating dirt. It's such a mess. How'd you get in this predicament? I was headed west after graduating baking school and fell in with these two because they talked a big game about natural grains. Fool that I was, I didn't realize that all they were really interested in was getting silly on loco weed and not doing any work. So you're looking for work? Gosh, yes, desperately. The only trade I know is baking them. Do you know somewhere that's hiring a baker? Heck, even unpaid would be better than this if it comes with room and board. I just want to get out of here. Don't, sorry. Shucks. Well, if you hear anything, please let me know. Will do. A huge supply of unused fertilizer. Gary sniffs the air and looks around excitedly. Search the bags. Aha, one of these bags is different. You got a bag of shroom grow. Excellent. Stronger Gary. A deliciousness. Gary has become more powerful. Movie. Garden. Alrighty then. No, I didn't mean to talk to you. I'm trying to go in here. Can't go in there. Can I go in here? Nope. Alright. Let me check something really quick. Okay. So, we're gonna head back to Dirtwater, see what our random encounter is. Your booze senses alerts you to the presence of a rock. Confused, you move the rock, and sure enough, there's a bottle of booze behind it. Got cheap tequila. Phew, we're afraid for a second there that your booze sense had been replaced with some kind of rock sense. Good news. Okay, so, this is where we'll end it for tonight, because this game absolutely destroys my throat. So I can't play it for too terribly long. And it looks like Cannoli just went live. So I am going to send you all over there. But yeah, stick around and check out Cannoli Senpai. He's a very good friend of the channel, very good individual, wonderful bearded Italian man. So yeah, thank you all for joining me aboard the Nightingale, and I will see you next time as we continue to sail the sea of games. Until then, the wind at your back and your eyes on the horizon. Fare you well, Mayhard.